Real Nerds is a proud partner of the Denver Podcast Network. In the shadow of the mountains,
we speak.
Hello, everybody. I'm JD Lopez, the host of Left Hand Right Brain. It's a free-flowing, wide-ranging conversation that I have with artists doing interesting and creative things here in Denver and beyond. We talk about their personal stories, break down their creative process, and what motivates them. Spoiler alert, it's mostly spite. We talk about all these things and more while kicking back, cracking wise, and always having a good time. You can find old episodes and everything you need to know at lefthandrightbrainpod.com.
Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
I'm Andre Gower.
And I'm Ryan Lambert.
And you're listening to
Real Nerds Podcast.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Pop Culture Con.
Yeah.
I am Ryan, back in the saddle again. Steven Tyler. With me is
Brad.
And
James.
And
Zach.
Hey! We're all here.
Yeah.
Except for Henry.
Well, in spirit. Yeah.
He's always here in spirit.
Yeah.
We've got Spirit.
Yes, we do.
S-P-I-R-T.
Forgot an I. Hey, we like movies. We didn't say we're smart.
Guys, this pep rally is a
SMRT.
failure. I'm shutting it down.
Spurt.
Spurt.
We've got Spurt.
Wait. Line.
Oh, mercy.
Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. After a week delay, we will be reviewing Halloween.
No.
God damn you.
Star Wars 3? What's going on over there?
Okay, so saw this movie at the Alamo. Mm-hmm. Got there with enough time to see most of the pre-show, and there's a section there where they go through all of the Halloween movies, and I, of course, have only seen Halloween.
Yeah.
Because that movie is, important
Amazing.
for film.
Yeah.
And really good. But then, of course, I have no desire to see any of the other ones.
That's sad.
There's some crazy-ass shit in this franchise.
Yes, there is.
And this bullshit about Laurie Strode being his sister is garbage. Absolute garbage. As soon as they said that in the second one, I was like, who the fuck wrote that? That's awful. Oh, my
John
goodness.
Carpenter on a six-pack of Coors.
No.
Yep,
that's just terrible.
That's the truth.
It'd be like if they made a sequel to The Strangers where they revealed that, like, the strangers are actually the family being murdered, but from the future. And you're like, wait, what? Not only does this not make any sense, but it was scarier when you didn't know who they were.
Does it make a difference? We'll find out in Halloween 2018.
The reason why, though, that twist comes around because he drinks all that stuff. The original executive producer, Irwin Yablans, had a deal with Carpenter to do The Fog. And then Carpenter talked to Avco about doing The Fog, and then did The Fog with Avco, so Irwin Yablans sued them. So the compromise was that he could do The Fog at Avco Embassy, and Carpenter.
If Laurie Strode was a sister?
No, if Carpenter did Halloween 2, so then that leads to the
Sure.
like, oh, I've got to write Halloween 2 now. It's on the.
I'm not saying that making Halloween 2 is a bad idea.
No, it's on the Scream Factory special edition of Halloween 2 documentary. It's pretty interesting. It was one fact I didn't know until that box set came out. So
yeah.
Pretty
I don't know
insane.
what was happening in Halloween 3, but that was some crazy ass shit.
It
Oh,
is.
it's so wonderful.
Those TVs were gonna pumpkin that man to death.
Halloween. Forget that. Can we talk about the fact that Tom Atkins somehow knows how to drive perfectly while super, super drunk? Like, I'm sorry. That's not how drunk driving works. He has a lot of road soda. I'm just saying in that movie.
You never know. That's
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail us.
I've
I
seen
was so
drunk
excited to
people
talk
that
to
function.
I guess that's true.
Halloween
so.
people about how weird that shit was.
It's very weird. The series definitely goes high and low.
Yeah. It's all over the place. It doesn't know what it wants.
And I also liked watching some of Paul Rudd yell about thorns. Like, what the fuck? This is
Yep.
weird.
Yep. That's what you do when you watch that movie too. What the fuck?
He's credited as Paul Stephen Rudd in that, and then the same year he's credited as Paul Rudd in Clueless. So I think he was just, like, this is a joke.
He's
from
trying
another...
to make sure that was on a different IMDb page.
And
Yeah.
credited as tan. That'd be awesome.
Oh my god, it's so weird. It's
All right.
yeah.
So yeah, we also talk about movie news, movies that are coming out on Blu-ray, and what we've been watching. And lately, we've been getting emails from Corinne called "Catching Up with Classics with Corinne."
Now sing the song.
I would read them, but she told me I'm not good at it, so Brad will be reading them.
Wow. Man, that is rough.
I know.
Harsh.
I cried that day. That's why I wasn't on the first one.
For a lot of reasons, not necessarily for that. You just cried a lot.
All right, James, play the music.
Catching up with Corinne.
She's watching some classic movies.
These movies are good. But she hasn't seen them. Now she has.
Except for Scarface.
I actually watched Scarface last week.
I know she did, but it's not a good movie.
Feed meal.
Hey nerds, so quick recap. I'm watching a bunch of famous and popular movies that I've never seen before and sending in my review. This week, Jurassic Park.
What?
Because
She's never seen Jurassic Park?
I know, right?
It's almost like someone putting Saving Private Ryan as their number 6 film.
Because this film is so pervasive in pop culture, I knew so much about it. All the famous lines, the major scenes, and which characters live and which die.
She'd already seen him without a shirt on.
It felt like I'd seen like half of this movie already. I just needed to watch all the stuff that's in the famous scenes, in between the famous scenes. Despite all that, I couldn't believe how well this movie held my attention. I genuinely had fun. Granted, some of the tense scenes where the kids or Alan are in danger, I already knew that they were going to live, so a lot of that tension was gone. But it was overall a really good movie. Surprise! The film is paced pretty well.
Brad, you're so good at reading these.
So much better than me.
Surprise!
Yeah.
No, you're doing great.
Not for long. My eyes will go out eventually.
You're doing great.
The setup doesn't take too long, so we can spend most of our time on these characters interacting in the park. Hell, you could probably cut out that scene where the lawyer goes to the Dominican Republic and it would work just fine.
Excuse me, I need to know that scene
No,
exists.
I'm sorry, because the way he says he's a digger is fantastic, and I love it.
I saw that guy. He was in some other nerd movie I watched recently.
I also like watching that guy get dragged across a river standing awkwardly on a pallet being pulled by a rope. It's just cool.
There were maybe a few times at the end where it started to drag, but it still moves pretty well. I also really noticed Spielberg's style in this. The camera movements, the different lighting choices, like where they turn off the power and use the flashlights, it was all really well done. It kept me engaged and helped build the tension while keeping the action going. None of the characters seemed too bland, but neither were they complex, which is fine. It's a 2-hour action movie, so I don't need them to be. I thought the actors did well and seemed to fit their parts. I like Grant's arc of warming up to the idea of kids, and Hammond's sad
Some of them smell.
Baby smell.
and Hammond's sad realization that his park just wasn't successful enough. Realization that his park wasn't just unsuccessful, but dangerous. I do have a few minor criticisms. I felt like the ending could have been a little bit better. They just fly off safe and in one piece. But what about the park? What was Hammond going to do with it?
Yeah, he needed to take
I always
out
felt
a-
like it was an abrupt ending too, but like it sets up, this franchise.
That is why there is a Lost World.
Yes.
He takes out a remote and just says, "I'm blowing this mother up."
She's just protecting her baby. So am I.
Aww.
But what about the park? What was Hammond going to do with it? I think it would have helped bring these themes, man versus nature, and his character development full circle if we could have had a scene at the end with him saying that the park should be closed and he should have never tampered with nature or something of that kind.
That's
She
basically
really
the
needs-
first 10 minutes of Lost World.
Yeah,
That's literally the opening
need to watch
sequence
the
of
rest of
Lost
them.
World.
Also, I know the film is called Jurassic Park, and no doubt the trailers and marketing gave it away when it came out in 1993. But I wish they would have kept you guessing about whether there were dinosaurs. We see the scene at the beginning with the raptor and the guy getting killed, and everyone's wearing JP hats. Huh. I wonder what creatures might be in a park with a dinosaur logo on it. Can you... parentheses, can you sense the sarcasm? I guess I didn't read it right. I wonder what kind of creatures might be in a park with a dinosaur logo on it. Maybe just generic security guard outfits and jeeps, etc., to keep the reveal safe until the group sees the dinosaurs for the first time. Also, I thought Tim was pretty useless at following directions, and Lex's constant screaming and was annoying.
Well, yes, but she's a hacker.
And he's a
Hackers are
fanboy of
screamers?
Dr. Grant.
No, I'm just saying. You gotta she's a hacker.
Yeah, no, she's a hacker.
Yeah.
And there were a few scenes where the effects don't hold up, but for the most part, they still look great. And the animatronics and puppets are pretty damn convincing.
Which one does not work? I can't remember. I watched it recently in 4K. I thought they all looked pretty
Yeah,
good.
for the most part.
Yeah, there's a couple little moments like in 4K. There's a couple little moments like when the raptors jump up on the counters in the kitchen and stuff like that, where in 4K they actually start to look like they're hovering. But it's, I mean,
Maybe in
opinion,
my
there's not
mind, I
much,
just
yeah.
don't care anymore. I just love the movie so much. I'm like, yeah.
And I think part of what's missing is that if you'd seen the movie in the 90s when we hadn't seen so much CG, that first moment when you see the brachiosaurs, yeah, you know you're going to see dinosaurs, but when they're that amazing that first time is still this mind-blowing moment, you know. Yeah, it's great.
Also,
I mean, they have poisonous plants out there, but I mean, they put them out there because you thought they looked good.
Right.
Also, Wayne Knight, the visual effect of Wayne Knight doesn't hold up that much anymore.
So, some of them smell is one of my favorite lines, and also, of course, Dotson. We got Dotson here.
See, nobody
cares.
His laugh when he's laughing at the Barbasol can, going like,
Oh gosh,
and it's like a dying squirrel.
oh, it's so good.
Don't get cheap on me
my
now,
goodness.
Dotson.
You're going
That
to
movie's
give us
awesome.
all
That was Ham's
butterfingers?
Yeah, so good.
Overall, I can see why so many people love this movie, and maybe I'll never love it like they do, but I really enjoyed watching it.
Clearly not.
Well, watch it about 35 more times like we have, and then you'll get it. You
know what?
gotta really beat it to death before you love it like
and
I
you really
do.
need to get it in 4K. Spare no expense, okay?
Yeah. Aw.
You just sit in a chair like Clockwork Orange and just have it burst into her head
Yeah.
for 72 hours.
Exactly.
Jurassic Park, 4 out of 5 stars. For next week, I'll let you guys choose Devil's Advocate or Unforgiven, Pacino or Eastwood. I'm going to go with Unforgiven because I watched that
Unforgiven
recently.
because it's good.
Yeah.
You already watched the Pacino one recently, so
Yeah.
change
So,
it up.
yeah, do Clint.
Yeah, because I wouldn't call Devil's
And you got to
Advocate
be in the
like,
right mood to watch Devil's Advocate.
Yeah.
Like, I like it, but
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm just saying it's not like
It's all kinds of whoop-de-doo.
when we go from talking about Jurassic Park, which I would say is certainly among the 100 most important films ever made that you should definitely see in your life. Like, you know, I wouldn't say Devil's Advocate is. It's not on an AFI list.
If you want to see Keanu Reeves' ass, then
That's what makes it 101 on your list.
It just barely makes it.
whoa, there's my ass.
Maybe we'll talk about Keanu
you
Reeves'
looking at
ass
my
later in the show.
Are you touching my ass? Any Night at the Roxbury fans here? So it'd be physically impossible for me to touch your ass from over here. That movie's shitty. Hey, Brad, is
But
there
no, really, we are going to talk about Keanu Reeves' ass some more later.
Awesome. Should we go around town with you?
We should.
Oh, awesome, because we're going to grab our motorcycles. Some people have tracks, but we're all going to end up in the same place and feel alright. Around town with Brad. That's where we're going to go and not feel bad. See movies at movie theaters. Some old, some new. You won't feel bad because you're with your crew.
Your crew.
Brad around town. Yep. Brad, what's going on around town?
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
Speaking of Jurassic Park, the Midnight at the Esquire this week is the week of November 2nd is Jurassic Park. So,
Sweet.
Cool.
yeah, we just talked about that.
Seen
and
it.
you should see it. Last weekend was the last weekend for the drive-in, so I won't be talking about that for a while. So that's that. And then on
Why? It's 90 degrees outside.
I know. I argued that they should stay open, but every time they do that one night of bad weather rolls in, and they have to shut down anyway. So
Okay.
I get it.
They need
Well,
a
then they should
billionaire.
stay open. I'm desperate for one night of bad weather. God, it's disgusting outside.
And then on Tuesday, I think at the Bug Theater, they're having the premiere of Snake Outta Compton. The 30th. Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Snake out of Compton?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like is it a sci-fi movie or just
No.
like goofy like a sci-fi movie?
It's good for like a sci-fi movie. Tim Johnson, who's 1/4 of Bolognium, he wrote it, and some production company actually made it, and it's got a CGI snake in it, like giant snake and everything, and the trailer is bonkers, and it's supposed to be funny, so
oh
don't
my
go.
goodness. That
Yeah, you're
snake
looking
looks
it up.
like it's made out of Legos.
Snake out of Compton.
Wow.
Yeah, a snake terrorizing Compton. That's,
Crazy copperhead
that's
named
it.
Slither.
Oh,
the
no,
elevator pitch.
someone else has
We'll go back to the
photoshopped
studio,
those
figure it
really
out.
guys on. Okay.
Any NWA fans out there?
My goodness.
It is $10 to get in, but that $10 goes to the Bug Theater and not the movie. So definitely come out and support that. It'll be fun.
I thought you were going to say like the Colorado Reptile House.
And then they're gonna have the Bolognium's actually gonna play, so there'll be more than just the movie there.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yep. And that's what's going on around town.
Awesome. Movie news that you need in your life. It'll tell the story of Hollywood, so make sure it's all nice.
It's real news.
We have so much shit. I'm going to go through a lot of this. And yet we have
Bono?
so much shit.
We have
and
some
not,
Bono?
And not. I'm going to leave Zach to talk about his one thing that I know he wants to talk about.
What is the one thing?
A ring.
Danny Leaner has died at 57. He was director of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Oh, wow.
Dude, where's my
So
car?
that's too bad. Yeah.
We had another death, too, I think.
We did?
Yeah. James Caron from Poltergeist passed away.
and Return of the Living Dead.
And Return of the Living Dead, yeah. But, I mean,
One
I'm
and
trying
two.
to introduce James to the concept of James Caron.
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah. But he was Frank in Return of the Living Dead, and he was in a bunch of shit, though, in the 80s. It was like
Yeah.
a horror.
Great actor.
Yeah. I loved him.
Cool. I mean, not cool. I mean, bad. That's too bad.
He was 94.
Yeah, well, good for him.
Life well lived.
Yeah. Okay, going through some crazy shit that happened this week. Bruce Wayne and Alfred got cast in that weird Joker movie we don't know how to talk about. The one with Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is this movie?
Martin Scorsese is trolling you if he's producing it.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm almost more desperate to see this than, certainly any other DC. I'm almost excited about it now because it has to be different, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Joker's origin story is interesting. So,
But I have no
Also
idea
not
what.
concrete.
and also not concrete. Depends
Yeah.
on what kind of mood he's in.
Right, I have no idea what this is gonna be. Is it gonna be anything based on? It's just weird. I just find
Yeah.
this movie fascinating.
I'm interested to see Joaquin Phoenix play that because he's such a. He always makes interesting choices as an actor.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see his take on an iconic role.
There was somebody who's in it this week who was talking about the role being or his performance being really good, but obviously everybody's going to say that until the movie comes out. So we'll see.
It says Todd Phillips is directing it, but I think it's actually Paul Thomas Anderson, and they're keeping it a secret.
Oh my gosh!
So it's 3
Hey,
hours.
then I wouldn't
long
have to
and
see this
doesn't
movie.
make sense.
Yeah. Yes, very much so. Even though you're
Spider-Man 1984, or so sorry. Wow. Wonder Woman. I'm not a sexist, I swear. Wonder Woman 1984, which I was about to say is a title that I love, got pushed back to 2020, which
Yeah.
is way too far from now.
That's a long ways.
My goodness. Ugh.
Are they filming it right now?
I
think they
I think
are.
they're starting. Yeah, they must be filming it now because it was scheduled for November of next year,
Mm-hmm.
but then they pushed it back 6 months. It's too bad because that movie, everything about the idea of that sounds great. I want Wonder Woman, but in the 80s.
Yeah.
I want him to fight Steve Jobs. I think it's a great idea for a movie. I don't know that that's who she's fighting. I'm sure it's not.
Hopefully.
But that would be great.
Just by Amblin.
Yeah. I know. I want it to be a movie where like she runs her big company, and then like there's another company and they're evil, and then she ends up having to use her Wonder Woman powers to kick dudes in the face.
I loved Wonder Woman, and she was really good in Justice League. I just hope this isn't too long of a gap.
Yeah,
for people to lose interest.
And the whole thing, I
it's
almost
gonna be 4
think
years, right?
Yeah, but I almost think it's going to work in their advantage because, like, or
3,
yeah,
yeah. But especially with them canceling so many of their other projects and not really knowing what they're doing with other stuff and dragging their feet on so many things, like, at least that way, when the next one comes out, people will just talk about it as a sequel to Wonder Woman and not necessarily in the context of this greater DC thing. Since it doesn't seem like any,
Well, the original release date is up against the third Star Wars movie, right? So it's probably best that they kind of leave that slot open.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure it's one thing to move it to Christmas. It's another thing to move it, 6 months later. But yeah, hopefully it'll be good. Either way, it's going to be a little longer. That's all. Filmstruck is shutting down, as we learned this week.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Was this good? I never tried.
There's only one way if I could watch my Criterion movies I want to watch.
Whenever I want to.
Because that was the thing about it, right? Was that it was basically just a streaming service, but it had a lot of the Criterions on it.
It did, and it was more
pretentious.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think the name's awful. I think Filmstruck is also awful.
It's not as bad as Verve. I did a free trial of Verve, which is VRV, this week. And I'll tell you more about it later. But oh my god, it's built by the people who do Crunchyroll, which is all anime.
Yeah.
And there's what's cool about it is you can sign up for it and you have access to Crunchyroll and all this other stuff. Like there's a whole bunch of different channels on this thing. But it is the worst friggin' UI I have ever seen. You can't find anything. Like every time I would go in, I had to literally use the search, like because it doesn't recommend things properly for you or give you like what you've been watching or there is a watch list, but it's not easy to manage. And so the first 3 times I was watching the show that I started watching this week, I had to go in and search for the show, and the search is so slow. I'm sitting there waiting, and so I think this happened the same day that I was watching Verve, and I was like, oh my gosh, some of these need to die, and it's probably not Filmstruck.
Shudder has a bad interface too.
Oh, I bet.
But it gets better. It's been getting better with Shudder. Filmstruck though, I tried it. I couldn't play anything.
Oh.
I did a free trial. The whole week I kept trying to play 1 or 2 different things on from the Criterion element, and
the streaming was just bad.
Yeah, and they did.
You could find movies you wanted. It was just that just that when you hit play, nothing came through.
It was I just kept trying to load and stuff like that. Oof. And I know my internet's slow, but it's not that fucking slow.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, no, I mean, I honestly don't think that. I think Criterion needs to work out some kind of deal with Prime or Netflix or something, because I don't think
they used to be on Netflix.
Well,
I know, but they need to go back to it, because I don't think striking out on their own helped them out at all.
The long term goals of Netflix is to be a channel and not to be a thing for you to
right. Well, then Prime would probably be a better route for them.
I mean, well, the truth is, what's going to happen is
because I didn't like it when they were on Hulu either.
You're going to get a streaming service for the major production companies. So you're going to have a Disney one, you're going to have a Warner one, you're going to have Amazon, and you're going to have Netflix and a handful more. And we're all going to live in this terrible dystopian future where we all pay about as much as we paid for cable, but to watch 8 different streaming services. But at least,
that's why I try to tell my wife, because my wife asked me a couple weeks ago about, should we get rid of cable? My argument is because I like ESPN and I like watching Rockies.
If you like sports, it's really difficult for you to get rid of cable.
You can't, to an extent, because I looked at PlayStation View, where you can get ESPN and local channels.
Yeah.
But what I can't get is I can't get Avalanche. I can't get the Rockies. I can, but I have to add the MLB Network,
right?
Which is
the cost is
$7 a month.
Yeah.
So even you think about it, I still have to pay for the internet to have the PlayStation View, which is $50 a month. But if I want certain channels, it's like $5-6 more a month, so it ends up being almost exactly the same.
Right.
We're still testing the waters though on all this. Eventually it could work itself out.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, and it ends up, you wonder whether or not it matters if Comcast goes and buys half of those, they'll make more money just selling you 4 different streaming services that add up to more than what their cable costs were.
I mean, Comcast is NBC and Universal,
right.
So
what happens when the computers break down?
Oh yeah, I'm
physical
not worried.
media.
I'm not worried.
Yeah,
I can still watch my Phantom Carriage if I want.
Yes, but how? Well, I will get to it. Anyway, still in news, the best news for the Pirates of the Caribbean series since they announced the first sequel. They are rebooting that motherfucker. Yay!
Savvy.
Sure.
And they're probably doing it without Johnny Depp. Yay!
Sure.
They should make pirate movies because pirate movies are cool. Like,
It's interesting. I don't know if there's an article about Johnny Depp on the Hollywood Reporter, and because he's
he's in a mess.
He's in a mess, and they were saying that
that new Harry Potter movie does not look good. I agree.
He gets fed lines, and I was like, does he really? And he admitted, so he puts an earpiece in, and that's why he has a wig there. And they read him his lines, and then he acts them out. Like, he doesn't even take the time to read the scripts.
I don't even like that movie, but I would be so much more excited if Colin Farrell was in this new one. Like, the worst mistake. They should have done a pickup where they just had Colin Farrell reveal that he's Grindelwald the whole time, and then he walks off, and he gets to be the villain.
He reveals himself to be Colin Farrell.
Right? Yeah. Like, no, I'm just saying, like, you know. And like a dorsal fin pops out of his back because he's the shark from Jaws, and he runs away.
I like
Bruce Grindelwald.
I like Johnny Depp, but yeah, that article because it was actually from like a couple months ago, but it's still fairly relevant. It's hard to read because I do like his films. I like him as an actor, but
I like Johnny Depp, especially as an actor as well.
I know.
The problem with the Pirates movie is that they took a side character who was there to be funny and made him the main character.
That's not Johnny Depp's doing. That's...
No. Yeah, but because he became such a crutch, those movies were never really beautifully fun and like quietly brilliant the way that the first one is. Like the first one is still an incredibly fun action adventure movie that absolutely stands up.
Well, yeah, that and the fourth one, obviously.
Well, okay, I'm gonna kick you as hard as I can under the table. But like they use him so much as a crutch after that if dude, you know what's cool? Like pirates are cool.
Yeah, we should get Gina Davis and Matthew
sword
Modine
fighting
in the next one.
We should because that movie is pretty solid. Fight you. Man.
The trailer uses Army of Darkness' soundtrack.
It does.
The March of the Dead. It's awesome.
Speaking of sequels to things that don't need sequels, Labyrinth is getting one. I don't think that anyone told them that he's dead. So
yeah, they don't have to pay for prosthetics on him then.
Yeah, but as long as they get Jennifer Connelly back, I will watch it. Speaking of things that might die, they're saying that Daredevil season 4 might get canned. Netflix has canned everything else from Marvel.
It's just inevitable because I mean, when Disney gets theirs up and they're gonna have their own Marvel section,
right. Yeah,
it says Netflix is canceling a bunch of different stuff too. So
they've been. Part of it is I think they're finally they've spent years just trying everything, and I think they're finally starting to like go okay, we gotta like trim the leaves back and spend money in the right places,
like Oscar campaigning for Roma.
Sure,
maybe we shouldn't have given every comedian their own special.
Well, yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like. Some of that, like, we don't know what the data shows. If the data shows that there are a lot of people watching that stuff and it is worth them to spend money on, a comedian special, probably not that expensive, right? That's a person on stage. You got to pay for some stuff. It's not the same as paying for filming Roma or, shit. I mean, imagine how expensive.
Ballad of Buster Scruggs probably cost them a penny.
Well, or 6 seasons of House of Cards.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, really think about the amount of talent that was in that show, especially behind the camera. Like, that was an expensive show. And Mindhunter, right? Like, anything where you go and get David Fincher to go make, at least that was only like 6 episodes or something. But
no, it's 10. But still, I mean, I hope we still get season 2.
I do too. But I also think that that's one that struck gold and really took off. And House of Cards did them plenty of.
I'm weary because everything I like turns to dust eventually. So.
Well, that's just because you're sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, So just if you like Daredevil, I haven't watched the new season, so I have no idea.
Daredevil's a good show though.
I didn't watch Defenders, and I didn't watch. There's a whole Jessica Jones season I haven't watched, and I should. I'm sure they're good.
Jessica Jones is good.
Yeah. Disney's Hollywood Studios is talking about maybe doing an Indiana Jones land.
Sweet.
Which would be pretty dope. At least if they took. I only recently learned that they shut down the stunt show.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, obviously, if it was like killing people, they should. Or or at least seriously hurting them. Did anybody
I don't
ever
think
die?
anybody
I don't think
died.
anybody
The show's
died.
cool though.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. I remember seeing it, But I also remember like going, and at the time there wasn't, because there's not an Indiana Jones ride in
Orlando.
in
No, they just
Orlando
have
now,
the
yeah.
stunt show.
There's
and
a
I remember
Indiana
being
Jones.
disappointed. Oh, go ahead.
There's an Indiana Jones ride in California.
Yeah.
Yes, in California, yeah. But when we did the Disneyland stuff, like we did Disneyland, and then like 2 years later we did Disney World. And when we got there and it wasn't a ride, it was like the stunt show. I was like, oh, that doesn't sound as cool. But then it was awesome because it was
Yeah.
the whole flying wing section.
And it's probably really expensive to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean that stage is it's
But
pretty
if
impressive.
If you took, even if you just did like a little section, like like in a Frontierland style, like you don't have to do like Star Wars Land in Disneyland, but do a couple rides and a fun little adventure sort of zone.
Yeah.
It'd be
Maybe
awesome.
the country bears can
You
come
could always
and join in.
You could always change
sure,
Tarzan's tree to like Indiana Jones temple crawl.
Tarzan's tree.
That Terminator 2 3D ride got shut down too.
Which
I
one?
found out that recently. The Terminator 2
Oh,
3D
yeah.
experience one.
They're doing it a
did
lot now. I mean,
Fight
because
for the future, yeah.
I guess all those things are like 20, 30 years old now.
Yeah.
they had to like
Well,
fight to keep the Back to the Future one. I know that.
No,
And
it's
then
gone.
Is it gone too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the Simpsons ride's there. But they
This is
held out
why-
as long as they could.
This is why you friggin' Harry Potter fans, I told you, when you let them take Jaws, you let them take anything. It's chaos now. They shut it all down. But anyway.
Let's be honest. Was Jaws a franchise, or was it just a
It's a
great
cool
movie?
ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dope, and it was it was a nice lake, and you might get wet. It was fun.
And you got hot from the fire.
Yeah, there was fire, and sometimes if you were looking the right direction, you might see a shark.
You know what? If they get rid of the part of the tour where you go through backdraft, then I'll be angry.
Oh my gosh, that can't still be there. They can't
It's
still
not.
do it. Yeah,
I
okay.
remember it being there the last time I was there.
When I go on my I went on my honeymoon 8 years ago. Maybe it's not there.
Yeah.
I remember it being there 8 years ago.
That'd be terrible.
One of the writers from Rick and Morty is making an animated show for what's the CBS All Access that is just about the guys on the lower deck that you never get to talk to. Which sounds fun.
Yeah.
That might be good. They're going crazy with Star Trek stuff on All Access. Clearly, it must be driving that entire streaming service.
Oh yeah, I read an article about it.
Well, that and reruns of Murphy Brown, man. I mean,
Well,
come on.
because between Discovery and then now this show, and then they also have those Star Trek shorts. Which who is it that there's one of them directed by? Oh man, now I can't remember. There's like a big name that I saw this week where I was like, oh shit, I need to watch that.
Orson Welles.
No, it's like somebody who doesn't even do film and TV. It's like a writer. Anyway, Michael Chabon, who is a Pulitzer Prize winning author, wrote a Star Trek short, and I was like,
Heck yeah.
my goodness. But he's dope. So we'll talk about that later. We don't need to talk about this. I just want to talk. I've stared at this photo forever. That's Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Look at that dope beard
It's
and that
adorable.
cool haircut. That's Bryce Dallas Howard, by the way.
Yeah.
But look how cool he looks.
Yeah.
My goodness.
She's going to direct a Star Wars TV show.
She's gonna direct this documentary about dads.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Following her father's footsteps. How cool is that?
In that
Yeah.
picture, he's telling her about how he's going to direct Solo one day.
Save Solo.
Or save Solo, yes. I'm sorry. You're right.
Ed Catmull, who is one of the founders of Pixar, is retiring after 40 years in animation.
Okay.
So, but good for him.
Cool.
Anyway,
Right on. He can go to Hawaii.
Should I care about Bad Taste and Dead Alive getting 4K releases?
They're goofy.
Yeah, you should. Oh, God.
They're insane.
I need everything of Peter Jackson available to me
Where's the
yesterday.
Meet the Feebles 4K?
Seriously, right?
Ooh, in 3D.
Ugh.
It'd be cool if he did really in-depth coverage of that stuff with
I heard he was
a lot
actually
of
going to be
features
pretty
and
involved in
commentaries
it.
and
It'd be sweet.
to see a director go back and revisit the stuff that started their careers, that they've become the biggest badass in their entire country.
I like to think if I ever struck it big, I wouldn't be that way. Like Jennifer Aniston won't talk about Leprechaun or something.
Oh, hell
I
no.
would if they did a 20th anniversary and I was in some shitty horror film. I'd be fuck yes, I'll sit down and talk about this for hours.
Yeah.
You should go tell that to Leonardo DiCaprio so you can be on the Critters 2 commentary.
No,
but
busy saving the planet.
Yeah, but no, I would love one for
Global
one for
warming.
Bad Taste, but I would definitely love one for Dead Alive in terms of a commentary or a
I think it
retrospective
exists
interview.
on Arrow.
Well, a newer one, an even newer one, and talk about he always like goes into digital effects and stuff like that in his interviews and whatnot. Let him do an in-depth one about bad taste and
That was a really
Dead Alive.
good Richard Taylor. Special effects.
Digital effects. We'll talk about Peter Jackson later.
No, we won't. I
Oh, yeah,
refuse. I refuse to do. Don't predict what we're gonna do. Only I get to do that. I have all the cards here.
Nice.
Speaking of people who don't have all the cards, I don't know. Movie Pass got spun off from its parent company so that they can kill it with a bat. Basically, they split up. The parent company split like Movie Phone and Movie Pass and whatever Movie Pass Ventures is, which is
Movie
probably a
phone
holding
still
company.
exists.
Yeah, they bought it a while back.
Yeah.
So they spun all that stuff off so that way they can kill one of them without killing all of them.
My friend Derek from the old Radio Brenda Man show, he texted or he put a photo up on Facebook that was like a eulogy for Movie Pass, and he's just like, I hope you find the piece you're looking for.
It was like
I feel bad for him because that was the way he could afford to see movies in L.A. So yeah.
Weird.
Yep.
I mean, it's one of those things
Switch
where
to
like
AMC A-list.
we said for years like this can't work, and then like it was such a big deal for about
Look at
8
us.
months there.
Little podcast that could.
Mm-hmm.
We can predict the future.
Predicting the future.
We willed it to happen.
Yeah.
Poor Henry too.
I guess. Well, okay.
Remember when I said, let's see if James Mangold finished his Boba Fett, and look where we are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that on your news list? I was trying to cue you up.
Oh, no, but that is really good. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, there's been enough enough content about the Mandalorian that, like, I always assumed that there was no Boba Fett movie happening, so to have, Kathleen Kennedy come out and be like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Well, they announced
Like-
him doing it, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
but
was a
that
big
was-
deal, and now it's like, oh, that was never a thing.
And every
But they
article
also-
I'm reading saying that they never announced it. I'm like, no, they did.
Yeah, we
Well,
talked about
But
it.
they also,
If my wife could see you, Zach, she would be flipping out.
Why?
You're literally pulling bottled water into a cup
Because I'm promoting our movie of the week.
that no one can see.
Yeah.
My wife's head just
visual
exploded.
jokes.
I apologize, Laura.
Look at me. I'm drinking bottled water. We're straight out of the bottle. Pure plastic goodness.
You know what I do sometimes?
Suck up.
I just feed bottled water to the dog. Fuck it. I actually almost did today because it was easier. We were taking the dog for a walk, and I was like, well, instead of filling up a bottle, like there's just a bottle in the fridge. I could just grab it and go, and then it's cold. Then I get to treat my dog to cold water. And then I thought, that's silly. Why would you give bottled water to the dog? He's fine. But
It's no intention to disrespect the environment. I just literally wanted to just drink out of my Alamo glass that I haven't had a chance to drink out of
Thanks
yet.
for the pure water. Now I'm going to eat my own shit.
Anyway. Robert Englund said that he wants to do another Freddy movie.
Well, they need to fix that makeup on that Goldberg's appearance then because it was not that great.
Oh,
It was fun. The appearance is awesome, but the makeup is terrible.
well, yeah.
man.
I mean, what they got $15 on Goldberg's to do makeup? Like, what,
I'm pretty sure they got more than $15 on
they're
that
doing all
show.
right. They're doing all right. And then the very last thing, which I guess I should have held to the end, was that Jamie Lee Curtis is saying that she would totally do a Halloween sequel if David Gordon Green came back and directed it. But maybe we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I probably should.
And then that's news.
Okay, cool.
Cool Blu-rays coming out.
Unless, Zach, do you want to talk about Chris Pine's dick?
I just said that we should do that article and then be done with it because apparently he hangs dong in the new Netflix show that he did with the guy from Hell or High Water. So
Sure.
but the question is, if it's R-rated,
The
how much
question is,
dong does he hang?
How much of his dong?
And my answer,
How long is it
answer
hung?
is however long it wants to be. I don't care.
What is it on Netflix?
It's gonna be on Netflix. Yeah, it's a Netflix.
So the question
original.
is how long it buffers while you're staring at his dong. That's really, how you have to.
Is it gonna be all pixely and stuff?
Yeah. How good is your internet connection? That tells you how long he hangs dong.
Oh, well.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Yeah. But no, I'm not
the one
I
doing
just
it.
saw that on my news app and I was just like, wow, news.
Sorry. Anyway, so that's news.
Nice. What's coming out on Blu-ray? Cool stuff.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
I got to replace my $6 South Park Blu-ray that my dog just tore up.
Oh.
Or just take your dog out back and shoot him in the head.
Done.
Just make him finish the job. Then he'll never do it again. It's just like teaching a kid not
Rub
to
his
smoke
nose in
cigarettes. Yeah, just like teaching a kid not to smoke cigarettes. Like force him to eat the rest of the Blu-ray, and he'll never do it
Well,
again.
here's the annoying thing is, so we just took Daisy out of her kennel because she's getting too big for her, but she hasn't done anything. She's been by herself in the house for like 2 weeks.
Sure.
I came home today. They didn't do anything. I put them outside, played with them, fed them, left. And then Laura just texted me a picture of my South Park season 13 torn up.
Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Is that season very good?
Yeah. I think it has a Kanye West episode. That one's really funny.
Ooh,
Was
fish
it like
sticks?
on the shelf and she pulled it off?
Yeah, I don't know why she did that.
It's just that one.
Yeah,
You
I
just-
mean, the good news is, so there's an FYE now in the mills, and they,
Wait,
yeah,
how is this good news?
No.
no, but they sell the South Park
I've been
Blu-rays
there.
for like $5.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Oh, all right. Cool.
Isn't that what it was? Like, it was a second spin over at the mills, wasn't it? Or is it just an FYE?
it's
straight
FYE.
up?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, so then that's where they sent all the stuff from Colorado Boulevard
I mean,
to.
back in the day when the mills was first built, it was something else.
a tattoo parlor.
No, it was another
Cow
DVD
farm.
store, but it was like it wasn't a Sam Goody, but it was something else. Like
Media
in
Play?
that company. No,
Suncoast?
Suncoast?
no. But yeah, it's
Fry's Electronics?
it's an FYE now.
Incredible Universe?
And it's all the stuff that they
Radio Shack?
dropped away from.
Best purchase? Batman the Animated Series is out on Blu-ray!
yeah. They just announced too. They made
sold
like
out.
another 20,000 of them because
Yeah.
they sold out so fast, which
thought even
isn't
more.
surprising at all.
I had to buy mine directly from the Warner Bros. Website because I
Did
couldn't
you?
get it. Yeah,
I pre-ordered mine as soon as it was announced from Amazon, but I'm so mad at Amazon right now. I think I've canceled like 10 of my pre-orders through them
Wow.
because I mean I get Scream Factory through them,
Yeah.
and lately they've all been like $35. They don't drop the price on them at all, and then stuff like I know they're still I must still be in a spat with Disney because like Celebrating Mickey, the Blu-ray, the day it released, like currently unavailable.
Is it on the Disney Movie Club?
Yeah, so I got it because I got it through the Disney Movie Club.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So now I just order directly from Scream Factory because it's stupid. Because Scream Factory drops them down to like $18. And then I sent a huge, mean fucking email to them. I told them, like, why do I even have Prime anymore? Why am I pre-ordering stuff that you're not going to deliver to me on when it's released?
Because the second season of The Marvelous Miss Maisel is coming out.
That is true.
December 6th.
No,
and
but
you need to watch it.
it's really shitty. I mean, they got rid of their their game thing, so there's no incentive there. What's the incentive of me ordering it? They don't even deliver it on day it's arrived. They keep on saying currently unavailable.
Because of Suspiria in theaters now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I even so I had the Community pre-order, canceled that because still not available. And I mean, it might not all be their fault.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they have all this buying power, and they're going to just price gouge everything now. So what's the point of having Amazon?
I had an issue with them getting one of my Warner Archive DVDs.
Yeah, so fuck them. So
they took 3 days to get a 2-day. Well, no, not 3 days. 3 extra days on top of the 2 days in which I would have gotten it. And then I had to call them and find out, like, where did my package go?
yeah, no, and I just the only thing that irks me is like they don't make them available, and then what's the point of because you can't even save money on them, and that was the whole point of having Prime is you get them on release date, you save money because they're going to drop the price,
Right.
But now they don't drop the price, and when I can order from Scream Factory now, and I get it 2 weeks early
Yeah.
because they ship directly from Scream Factory.
Yeah.
So it's they've got to start winning me back because I'm really fed up with Amazon right now.
And was it always like the 2-day shipping? Like I got into the game late, but now it seems like it's 2 days shipping, so it's like they can wait a week to ship it, and then you still get it in 2 days, and it's like that's
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
not cool either.
I mean, I got a message that my Batman got shipped, but at the same time, it's like I was wondering if it was going to ship or not because.
What they've been doing a lot for me is they actually end up waiting a day. Like I think their fulfillment is behind, so then they're overnighting everything. So like I'll get it, and it'll say like, I'll order a thing, and then a day later I'll get the like, hey, we shipped your thing, and then the next day it will arrive. But if you think about it, they didn't ship it within 6 hours.
Yeah, and I the thing to me more is because I mean, you go to Amazon because they have great deals, but they don't have great deals anymore.
Right?
Is it because they're trying to force me not to get physical stuff?
Well, it's because they're not trying to dominate that market anymore. I mean, the truth is, Amazon's whole model is they go into a market, gouge all the prices, do everything they can to dominate the market, and then once they do, they move on, and then they sell everything just the same way anybody else does.
Yeah,
So
and it
creates an opportunity that anybody else, like Shout Factory or Disney Movie Club or anybody like that, you can go now buy stuff from those people directly and get a better deal.
Yeah.
So
And they just won't. They just can't compete. And even stuff like now it's coming to Christmas season. I'll take my phone with me and I'll scan stuff to see if I can get it for cheaper Amazon. And last year it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's cheaper on Amazon anymore.
Yeah.
Don't even know.
Yeah.
This message brought to you by Jack Ryan, Season 2 coming soon.
The actual answer is groceries, because that's the market they're trying to take over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have Whole Foods, my folks do it through my account. I had to joint my account together with them, so now they can do a bunch of Whole Foods coupons there because they're partnered up with them in the locker situation too.
If you know anybody who really wants a head of broccoli for Christmas, you're in good luck.
Yes.
Amazon has your back. Speaking of Criterions, I think we were. Anyway, no, Shout Factories. Well, instead, Criterions, this week, the Criterion version of The Princess Bride is out, so you can get that.
Did you get yours early?
Yeah, I actually bought this from Best Buy on Friday
Oh,
or
wow.
Thursday. It
Good.
showed up yesterday.
Nice.
Wow. You bought it on their online?
Yeah, online.
Oh, wow.
Shipped it today because I'm an Elite member.
Don't tell
but
anybody.
Criterion, if we're listening, they glued the spec sheet because I don't know if you can tell. It's like
It's a digibook.
It's a digibook, and the book, like the material for the cover is like a classic,
Oh, like the
linen
old school.
cover.
Yeah.
So it's got like foil printing of all the artwork on it, right? But they put the hot glue for the spec sheet on the back over the As You Wish graphic art they did. So when you peel off the glue, it peeled off like half of the. So it says As You Wish now. And like there's just a little faded U where
As you wish.
As you wish.
Oh,
As you wish, Pilgrim.
So yeah, Criterion, whatever next batch prints, don't glue that thing on the back because it comes shrink wrapped. You can just leave. You don't have to glue the spec
Oh
sheet in
yeah.
there.
Well, so often they do that thing where they wrap it over the top, so that it's
Yeah.
not even stuck on any.
So.
That's too bad. 12 Monkeys is getting a release from Arrow, the film, not the TV show.
Yeah.
Which the
We
cover's
talked about
cool.
that 2 weeks ago, so they must have moved the release date.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't here. Hey, speaking of Keanu Reeves' butt, you can now see it in that weird Zion scene in 4K. Because this week you can get the whole Matrix trilogy or individually, all in 4K.
The Facebook page for The Matrix, by the way, made it very clear to remind me that that this year is the 12th anniversary of The Matrix Revolutions.
Oh man, what a powerful anniversary for them to release this 4K edition.
I snapped a photo of it, and it was like Neo never gave up the fight.
Yeah, he's still in there.
Happy 12th anniversary, Matrix. I said it to Brad. It just made me laugh.
12 years later, he's still dead.
Yeah.
I would totally I'm very tempted by this. I'm gonna wait until this is half the price it is now,
Black
and
Friday.
then buy it. Oh yeah.
After rewatching them, I'd love to, but again, I'm on your boat too.
Yeah, I just
half
haven't.
off.
I haven't seen them in a while, so I want to watch those two.
I had more
Like-
fun watching the sequels again than I've had in years, but I mean, they're not great, but
Have you-
I like how they
watching,
fuck with you.
Watching those movies in years, not you had more fun with those movies than you have in years.
Because I've watched them so many times. But
Okay.
Anyway.
Best Buy
right.
has some steel books of it, but the art looks terrible.
Oh,
Like-
that's good.
The first one's like a bent spoon with the three of their faces in it, and then the other one's like a splash of jizz. I don't know.
The steelbook for the regular Matrix is really cool. It's a little baby egg thingy. You know, like
The pod.
the pod. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. As I remember.
Yeah.
I think I have that.
I think Reloaded is just a set of keys on a key loop.
Yep, that sounds about as disappointing as Reloaded.
That architect scene is really cool.
Nicolas Cage's Mandy is out this week on Blu-ray.
Who, what, where, why,
So if you
revenge.
didn't stream that, now you can. Oh shoot, I don't have these in like a super powerful order, so whatever. This week from Shout Factory under Shout Select is Dragnet.
Which I would buy,
kinda
except
dope.
it's like $28 on Amazon.
Yeah, but it'll go down. Give it time.
Will it?
Yeah.
Give it time.
Well, yeah,
Fucking
or
Amazon.
you'll find another place. to
Be
buy it,
honest,
'cause you-
Ryan. Who other than you and I really wants Dragnet?
Dude, I would watch that. I haven't seen that movie in a while.
And you know what? I'm going to finish my fucking Amazon rant. So I canceled Trick or Treat because they were going to ship it to me for $35.
Yeah.
So I went to Shout Factory, and it's $18.99 on Shout Factory.
That's crazy.
And they just shipped it last week, and it came out 2 weeks ago. And Shout's like, oh yeah, we've just had so many orders, we've had to catch up. Like they had to like go back and make more of them. Mm-hmm. So Amazon's thing was like, so they sold a lot of them.
Yeah.
So they could have fucking son of a bitch.
Speaking of Nicolas Cage, also from Shout Select is Valley Girl, which is actually kind of a neat little painted cover. From Arrow is a movie called Torso, a Sergio Martino movie. What's interesting about this? So it's called Torso, and yet the cover just a head. Just a head.
Being choked out.
Head, pair of hands.
It's ironic, James.
No torso. No torso involved. From Vinegar Syndrome this week is Incubus. No relation to the band. Which is a movie where this lady goes swimming and then gets kidnapped by space.
Black Manta.
Moonhead.
Moon
fire.
person.
It's a head of space.
No, it's the ultimate power of evil.
Knock
Well,
off Mysterio.
that's just what it says.
I have a question about Mysterio.
Okay.
Does he actually have a head under the glass, or
Yeah.
is his head the glass with the
No,
gas
he has
in
a
it?
head underneath it. So the mask protects him from the hallucinogenic gases he shoots out.
Okay.
And he controls...
I was wondering about that the other
Yeah.
day.
Like he has the computers and stuff in it.
Also out this week from Vinegar Syndrome is Joaquin Phoenix's The Joker. This is called Blood Harvest. But the face is the same.
It kind of looks like Lon Chaney Conrad Veidt in The Man Who Laughs.
Yeah.
That's weird.
What's weird is how painted in the mouth is. Also from Vinegar Syndrome is The Killing Kind. It's because we're right before Halloween, so there was a lot of just dump all the weird horror movies. Here's one where guy picks up rat.
Oh no! And there's blood in the shape of faces on it.
Yeah, it's a blood rat face.
Ryan, you know what kind of rats I have in my house? The killing kind.
Oh shit!
That was pretty good. Can't Hardly Wait is getting a 20-year anniversary.
I can't think of every time I see anything from that movie, I just think of another teen movie.
It's exactly what it is. My goodness. The Spy Who Dumped Me is out this week on 4K. I heard that was better than it seemed.
Me too.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, I put it on my try to check this out before the end of the year list.
I don't remember what came out what came out around with it, but
yeah. Well, I think it was just like a bad title.
It's out of order. It's driving me crazy.
So, second to last thing is the Slender Man movie is out on Blu-ray this week. This is the first time it's been released, right? It was just so far down the list that I got paranoid.
Well, no, yeah, it's the first time it's released, but
no one gave a shit.
It went to theaters for a hot minute, and MoviePass was involved in it getting released.
Wait, did you put this in an order of how you like them?
No. I was flipping through them to watch the different features, and I just kind of put them back in.
Yeah,
Ryan has pulled Zach's box set of the Halloween movies
from Scream Factory,
and Zach put them away out of order. So Ryan's
the
putting
book
them
is
in order.
in the middle of it.
Well, that's when he read it. They're in the
It's
order
10,
he went.
It's
through.
like 10 Blu-ray cases that he's like.
Yeah. Are they just Blu-rays? They look like they're black.
And why didn't you take off this slit? You can't see the cool art on behind it.
I know, but I also don't want to
But
risk
he
tearing
protected
it
the
off
art.
because
Those black.
that
Blu-ray
package
cases are
also
sweet.
came from Amazon, but I had to get it through a third seller, so I don't know what the heck they did with it. So I don't want to risk anything.
That's right. And the very last thing from Shout Factory this week is...
Thank you, Ryan. Can you clean my house now?
Fuck no.
The Wasp Woman. A beautiful woman by day, a lusting queen wasp by night. Holy shit, would you look at this cover?
That's awesome.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That is the face of a woman on a 40-foot wasp.
Guys, I want to announce what my new tattoo is going to be.
Wait,
Do it.
Yeah.
wait.
Looks like Roger Corman.
What are these?
Yep.
Beat it.
Does the wasp have boobs? It does. No, those are the legs. These are the front legs hanging down. That's what that is. That's not boob. That'd be crazy.
You know what? This poster's a Rorschach. You see whatever you want.
My goodness.
You see, like,
I also love
breasts. He's peaches.
this like
Bubes.
bizarrely leaning guy who's getting caught up by the wasp lady. Like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This shit is ridiculous.
I've only seen that poster. I've never seen that movie.
Oh man.
But it's like one you'd find in a poster book. So.
Oh man, I just can't stop looking at it. Anyway, that's Blu-rays this week.
We also watch movies throughout the week in a segment I call What We've Been Watching. Zach, what'd you watch this week?
Was that enough room for the bumper?
But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I guess
Not
so.
have it. Wait, no, you're going to have it now.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Go.
Oh. Couple things. I rewatched the King Kong remake from Peter Jackson.
I love that movie.
And
You had that much time? Wow.
I watched the theatrical version, so don't worry.
Oh, good.
I saved 30 minutes. I still like it a lot. It's not a. I mean,
I think it's a great movie.
yeah. I mean, like I was kind of like amazed that like certain scenes that I remembered in my head like play out differently, and I don't know. Like it's been a while since I rewatched it, so. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and then I kind of went through the production diaries on there because I ended up getting that Ultimate Edition. Because someone brought it to work and donated it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting it. I continued my Universal Monster series with the Wolfman from 1940. And Brad, you're wrong. That movie's amazing. You just don't like good things. I think I truly believe this.
Why do you hate good things, Brad?
I don't know.
What are you talking about? I wasn't paying attention.
You actually he gave it respect last week, but he just I think
The Wolfman.
You just didn't give it enough respect, Brad.
Yeah, no, he gave it plenty of respect. I'm just giving him shit.
I just rebought it, actually, so fuck you.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's right. Yeah. But yeah, no.
I mean, it doesn't live up to the Benicio del
I
Toro
was
one.
the Wolfman. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, no. Lon Chaney Jr. plays the Wolfman. Claude Rains plays his father, which still bugs me to this day because they look like they're about the same age. Yeah, I mean, I had fun rewatching it again. It's a lot shorter than I remember it being. Like I always kind of have it in my head as like about an hour and 20, but it's like only an hour and 11-minute film. So. But yeah, no, it's fun.
Tells its story. Doesn't need to be longer.
Yeah, no. I just, again, what you remember and what it actually is are two different things. But yeah, I mean, it's still a great script by Kurt Siodmak, and I really dig the whole gypsy motif around it and whatnot. With
Racist.
Maria Uspenskaya plays the gypsy woman who gives all the warnings throughout the film after her son Bela is killed. And she's a great method actor from that period. In this one, she's not super like into the role, but then she gets better in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, I believe. So, but yeah, that was fun. I went to the gym.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to continue it.
You're good.
I went to the gym and tried their fitness cinema because Dan and I go to the same gym.
Yeah.
And they have a fitness cinema in it. And they were playing the last 3 minutes of Beetlejuice, and I was going to only do 20 minutes in there, but I was like, if they replay it, I'll go through the whole thing and walk the whole time.
Yeah.
So I did it for the hour and 32 minutes. That movie is approximately 4.14 miles. And you can burn 983 calories with it.
My goodness.
On the current speed that I had.
And it keeps getting funnier every single time.
But yeah, rewatching it. Yeah, I'm fine with not putting it on the 88 list because it doesn't work for me as well.
It's
as it
already
used to.
done.
Yeah. No, I know.
You'll
but
never
like,
change it ever.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me the way it used to. But Michael Keaton is still amazing in it. And I like seeing Dick Cavett get grabbed by a shrimp hand. It's really funny.
You don't get to revisit that list for 10 years, sir.
Oh God, what am I going to do in between that time? I also did a Marx Brothers marathon and went through all their flicks.
Wow.
Well, not all of them. I'm through the Paramount ones now. I'm going to go through MGM next. But yeah, I mean, I that Coconuts one, which is the first one they did from 1929, looks amazing on Blu-ray. Like they cleaned that shit up well. But Horse Feathers, their fourth film with that period, like I guess there's never going to be a good print of that film because even the best transfer in the world wasn't able to save half the stuff that's wrong with that print. But that's somehow still my favorite Marx Brothers film. So yeah, that was all kinds of fun. And the last thing I saw was the remake of A Star Is Born, starring Lord Cooper and Lady Gaga.
Sure. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I want to golf clap your Lord Cooper.
Yeah.
All right. I'm good with that.
It was really good. I think this is easily the second best version of that story ever done. Having seen all the other three previous ones, I mean, like the Streisand one will always be fourth place because it's just, God, it's garbage.
I'm Barbara Streisand.
Chris Christopherson, I mean, they're fine in it. It's just it's poorly written and it misses the point of that ending. And then the Frederick March one's probably number 3. Number 2 is Judy Garland one, and then this one, or number 1 is always going to be Judy Garland. But anyway, this one's really good. Bradley Cooper plays washed up singer, meets a girl, helps her rise to stardom while he declines. Lady Gaga's great in this fucking flick. Like she commits to it, and
Does she deserve an Oscar? Because everyone wants her to get an Oscar now for this.
I at least want to see her get nominated, but even if she didn't in the acting category, she needs to get a nomination and possibly a win for that song "Shallow." That song is fucking great. Like I totally fell under the populist spell with that one. But yeah, and it's well shot. Cooper's got a great eye, and it's the first film he's directed, so like I'm obviously like not gonna like say give him like an Oscar, but like he shows that he can do it, and I appreciate that he can do it. It's clear that he learned from Clint Eastwood how to do things, because there are certain things that remind me of Clint Eastwood movies in the terms of how he shoots things.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like it's really solid, and it doesn't like lag. It moves pretty quick. And Sam Elliott, I think this is the time we give him a supporting actor Oscar if we're gonna ever do it, because he's really fucking good. He plays his brother in the movie.
I mean, I would have voted for Ghost Rider, but
Roadhouse.
Big Lebowski.
Roadhouse.
Oh yeah, that's right. We don't need to talk about Big Lebowski.
We don't talk about that here.
And
and Boondock Saints. We don't talk about these movies. Like what?
Oh yeah, I certainly but also Dave Chappelle's really good in it. He's only in it for like a scene or two, but he's great. You know,
you actually I didn't know he was in it until right now. I suddenly became interested in that movie now.
He's only, like I said, he's only in it for a scene, but it's a really touching scene.
Oh.
But yeah, I would definitely go check it out. I understand why that story keeps getting retold. Like, it wasn't a surprise to me that it was going to be good. I just didn't think it was going to be this good. Like, this great, you know? So, yeah, I would definitely go check it out. That's all I watched this week, guys.
Cool.
James?
Just a couple of things. I rewatched District 9, which I probably haven't seen in, like, 6 or 7 years, I feel. Like, I probably watched it a handful of times after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
For the first few years there, and then Brooks had never seen it, and she picked it off the sack, and anyway,
she chose that over Chappie, right?
Of course, dude, I don't give her bad options, like seriously. And watching through it again, I was like, well, I will say I'm surprised that some of the CG doesn't hold up as well. There's a couple moments where like the composites kind of stand out, and I was like, oh man, like watching it on 4K or on a 4K TV, I was like, oh man, but still incredible. And I will say, it is amazing to watch that movie with somebody who has no idea of the marketing and doesn't even know what the movie is going into it, other than like she read the back a little bit and was like, literally I asked her, I was like, wait, what do you know? And she was like, I don't know, something about aliens and technology. And I was like, great. Like, didn't even let her see the menu bar. I was just like, we're going to start this. And so, like, a couple minutes in, like, she's making these little comments and, like, creeped out by the aliens. And to watch her go through the arc, especially in that first, 45 minutes where you go, like, oh, shit. This movie is not what I thought it was. And then, by the end, she's like, oh, man. Vicus, you son of a bitch! Like, you're the worst,
Yeah.
Especially when he like chooses to run away from the bad guy at the end rather than save Christopher. She was just like pissed, and I was like, yes, you have figured it out. Like, this guy's the worst. I mean, they're all the worst. But a really incredible movie that I think still really holds up for what it's trying to do, and made me like once again really want to see something else from Neil Blomkamp. You know, I want him to stop threatening us with him remaking things that he loved. Like, that guy has cool stuff in his head. Like, just keep making dope movies, just not Chappie.
I you see, like you make fun of it. I don't think Chappie's that bad.
It's
Chappie's pretty bad.
It's okay.
It's pretty bad.
I have fun with it.
Part of it is Chappie
It's just short circuit.
conceptually is good. It's all the shit with the rappers that like take it from being what would have been like a B-level Neil Blomkamp, like, oh yeah, like you did Short Circuit, but in Africa and with a robot that has legs instead of treads. But then you add in all the rapper stuff, and it's just intolerable. Like, it's just so difficult to watch.
I will definitely say it's the weakest, but I don't like.
Yeah, film ever made. Yeah,
I
would
can
agree.
still rewatch it.
Yeah.
I also do like Elysium too. But I haven't.
Oh,
watched,
Elysium's great. I mean, I own Elysium. Like,
I haven't rewatched District 9 though since the theater.
I just like. I've never put Elysium in a stack for her to like, because basically when she's like, "Hey, we should watch a movie," I'll go pick like 15 things off of my shelf.
Yeah.
All of which things that I am in the mood that I would watch then, and just be like, "Dude, pick whatever you want." And I've never put Elysium in there because I just feel like you should see District 9 first. I don't know why. Like, they're not related.
And you're scared
But-
of Matt Damon.
No. I mean, I love Elysium. That's a great sci-fi action movie.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have the thing I just described of like watching somebody flip from like, wait, why don't they just like kill the aliens? They're clearly because early on, the way she's been trained to watch films, she's assuming that there's a giant alien monster in the middle of District 9 or that there's something nefarious. Like, even when Vicus gets sprayed, she's like, holy shit, everyone on the planet's going to turn into weird aliens now. And like it takes a little time before you go like, oh no, like
I think that's why the movie works so well.
Right, yeah. Like even the cat food thing, like when you finally realize like they don't give a shit about cat food. Cat food doesn't taste good. It's just better than the cow heads that they're being fed. Like, you know? So anyway, it's fantastic. It's still fantastic.
Ending still blows me away though when I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that final shot.
Yeah, it's really good. I also started watching Disenchantment on Netflix, which is the Matt Groening movie or TV show. And it's fun. I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes in. I got distracted by the next thing, which is very similar. But I will definitely go back and finish it. I'm having a good time with it, and I think it just got picked up for at least a second season. So
No, 3 years. It's like through 2020 or something.
yeah, it was like it was something like it's a second season, and then there will be more episodes in 2021 and 2022. So it sounds like they're just like, we're gonna do more.
Like Saturday morning cartoons, where it's like,
Yeah, well,
second season's 40 episodes, but they ran them for 4 years.
yeah, well, or maybe it'll be like Futurama, where maybe they'll do like movies or something like that. You know, so maybe it's not always TV shows. It was the announcement was weird the way they worded it. So anyway, I would, you know, if you like The Simpsons, and especially if you like that kind of fantasy stuff, like. It was refreshing to go back to.
Speaking of Matt Groening, I was watching Daredevil season 3, and I watched stuff with the subtitles on. So like when he gets hit, it says Matt Groening. I was like, Matt Groening. That should be a meme. Like a picture of Matt Groening drawing, and then the other half is Daredevil getting punched, Matt Groening.
Or a picture of Matt Groening punching Matt Groening.
So I signed up for Verve so that I could watch the second season of Harmon Quest, because they just announced they're making a third season, and I still hadn't watched the second season, and there's even a cold open or an intro at one point where Harmon makes this little joke about like, you know, this is a show where you get to wish that, or where you get to believe that shows you wish were on TV, because it's such a lovely, fun little show that. To have it like it first aired on that
CISO.
Yeah, CISO, which died, and then now it's on Verve, and I guess Verve has enough money they're going to make a second season. But like I even said this online, like I would pay too much money for a Blu-ray of this so that I don't have to jump through all the hoops that I have to jump through to keep following the show. Like, it's ridiculous, and I only care about this. Like, I have to finish it before my free trial is over because I don't want to pay a monthly subscription to have access to Harmontown or to Harmon Quest. Like, that doesn't make... I just want a $30 Blu-ray collection of each season of Harmon Quest. That's what I want. If you don't know, which why would you, Harmon Quest is Dan Harmon and a number of, like, a few other comedians playing D&D together, and as they play, the fantasy version of what they're playing gets animated. So they bounce back and forth between them at the table, joking and having a good time, with the animated version of it, where you get to see, like, whatever ridiculous, silly stuff is happening. And it's just delightful. And there's 3 hosts that are always the same, and then there's a cycling through, like, guest. So every episode, you know, Patton Oswalt will show up, and he's some new character that you've never met before. Kumail Nanjiani has been on it. He's on it in both seasons. Britta,
Gillian
Jacobs is on it in season 2. Elizabeth Olsen's on it in season 2. Paul Scheer's on it in season 2. It's really solid and funny. Even some people that I didn't have any idea who they were hilarious. So I think it's worth checking out whether you like that kind of fantasy stuff or not. If you're watching Disenchantment on Netflix and you have an email address and you want to sign up for but not support Verve, which I believe is a good choice, you should totally watch at least the first season. So it's great. It's like I'm finding wherever I can to try and squeeze that in. And then lastly, I, by some miracle, have convinced my wife to start watching through Avatar: The Last Airbender. It is it's like 4th largest blessing in my life. I'm very thankful for it. I don't understand how I got this lucky. It's great. And she's enjoying it. Like, she's the one who keeps bringing it up. Like, we should watch this. And I'm telling you this because y'all people need to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's great.
I'll get around to it.
Like, you have the best excuse. Kellen is like the right age where he would probably start really enjoying it, because it's like, it's fun for kids, but then also when you get into those characters, and it only takes a couple episodes before you're like, oh, this is cool. Like, you know, and the animation is really funny and beautiful, and the action scenes are great. And then the morals of the episodes are really well handled.
Did you upgrade to the Blu-ray complete series?
I did. So here's what happened.
I am shocked.
She brought it up like a week or so ago, or 2 weeks ago, and was like, I want to watch it. I think because we were talking about something, and I sort of mentioned it as like, oh no, like, if we ever have kids, like, I'm going to make sure they watch this show, like, because I think the way, like, the lessons that it tells are really powerful, and the way it tells its story is fantastic, and I think the show is fun. And so after that, she was like, I want to watch that show. So there was a night where I had my DVDs, and she brought it up, and she was like, hey, we should watch some Avatar. And I went, great. So I put in my DVDs, and they looked like unwatchable garbage. Like,
on the 4K TV, it's rough.
I didn't expect it to be so bad. And I don't know, like, I need to do a little research, and I need to try some other stuff out, because if all my Blu-ray, my old DVDs, and by all I mean about 20 of them, which includes things like Freaks and Geeks, like, I have, it's all television stuff, but there's just some television, like a couple seasons of Community, and a season or 2 of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and all of Alias, and Friday Night Lights. Like, if all that stuff, there was like a weird ghost image.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even just, oh man, this is really pixelated. It's like, the image was fucked.
I think it refreshes too fast for the resolution on DVDs. Some of them don't look bad. I have like some old movies. They don't look that bad.
Yeah.
But I watched Dead Man on Campus, and it was bad.
And I wonder, like, I even tried, because I was immediately depressed, because here I am, like, this is my one chance. Like, and she's like, you know what, James, I'd watch this, but it just looks so bad. No. She even said, like, a couple days later when we actually started watching, she was like,
is there a version by M. Night Shyamalan?
It was going to give me a headache, is what she said. She was like, that wasn't going to be good. So, like, I played with it. I tried changing refresh rates on the TV and stuff like that, and still couldn't get it to work. So we watched something. Oh, we watched Kubo and the Two Strings instead, and which is great.
Yeah.
But I, like, 5 minutes into Kubo, I had already gotten on my phone and ordered the upgrade to the Blu-ray. Especially because she was like, well, I guess now you got to order that Blu-ray collection you didn't get for your birthday. I was like, oh, man, like that is so a free pass.
Did I just hear permission?
Right, exactly. So
What?
we're already like a tenth of the way through the entire show.
Wow.
Actually, a little more than that. So yeah, no, it's great. It's great. It's great.
I want to show it to my nephew when he gets old enough.
Yeah, don't do it now.
No.
He doesn't speak English, so
That's not true. He says, "Uh-oh." That's his first word was "uh-oh."
Oh well, as it should be. Yeah, no, it's great.
No,
Watch the show.
we made a bad joke about that because, dude, forget about it.
Brad,
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, right on. Brad?
My turn.
Yep.
yeah.
So I didn't rewatch. I watched Daredevil season 3.
Ooh, how is it?
It's maybe the best season. There's an episode in the middle of it where there's another fight in prison. You're just like, are you seriously going back to that well? But almost the whole episode is a single shot.
See, that's still cool.
Yeah, it's maybe a 10-minute shot. So yeah, it's not that long, but it's impressive. Like, it's fighting, and then the actor's acting, and they go back to fighting it in all single take. It's incredible.
Man.
I shouldn't say a single shot because it's a single take.
Sure.
Yeah, he's like inside the prison interrogating somebody, and he fights his way out, even out to the taxi outside the gate, and all the stuff that they have to do to get him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wilson Fisk's plan is so like timely on how he uses fake news to spoil Daredevil's name and like turn the city against him so that he can get out and become the Kingpin again. So it's great. And then
Awesome.
after that, I finally watched The Defenders, which isn't as great. Still high quality production, but just the story is kind of weak. It's like, a bunch of mystic ninjas are, continuing the plot line of that hole in the ground, and all the Defenders are around to figure out how to work together. And yeah,
You sound so sad.
I really like the phrase, continue that plot hole of the hole in the ground.
it's not a plot hole; it's just a hole in the
Plot of
ground.
The hole in the ground, yeah.
Yeah, from the hand. So it's all right. It admits it's a limited series, so it's not like a something I should expect to have been expanded upon. But then like they started canceling all the shows. I was like so surprised.
Yeah. What
happened to
because I
that
thought they
hole
were
in the
so solid.
Well, I think part of it is it's too bad because, when they announced like, hey, we're going to spin up these 4 different shows and then have like an Avengers style team up show, you were like, this is awesome. And then like it kind of seems like it ended up being what Avengers should have been, which was disappointing,
And also, like, I haven't watched the Jessica Jones on its own yet. And then in this limited series, I'm like, what are her powers? It's almost like she doesn't do anything except hit people really hard. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you should watch Jessica Jones. She kind of doesn't do anything but hit people really hard and be sad.
Yeah, and at the end of The Defenders, like, she finally uses, like, her super jumping ability, but it's like, where'd that come from? Because I haven't seen the other 2 series.
Yeah.
Came from the other side of her depression.
Yeah, so her comic character, she doesn't like to use her superpowers. And,
Yeah. She used to be a really powerful, like, I don't want to say Superman-esque, but, similar, like, just
like Power
super
Girl
strong. Yeah, like Power Girl kind of thing. But bad shit happened, and then she was like, I don't want anyone to know me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
That's probably the only downside is, like, everyone else you're watching the show, and you don't, like, that's a point where, as someone who hasn't followed the other series, I'm lost. Whereas in The Defenders, like, they do things that explain, like, okay, Luke Cage is bulletproof. I get that. Iron Fist, he has this really powerful fist, and the whole storyline revolves around the Mystic Ninjas chasing him.
Yeah.
So, like, that's how he's in it. But Jessica Jones just feels like she's there and drunk and not wanting to be there, but is. And it's like, I don't understand her backstory. Like, they don't develop that enough in the show for someone who's lost, can't figure out what's going on. Whereas everyone else,
yeah,
they explain pretty well. So,
which is too bad because she's probably the one I love the most. Like, yeah.
I rewatched all the Saw movies.
Wow.
And speaking of like DVD, because I only had until yesterday I had them all on DVD. But it's hard to watch. Like, I don't have a 4K TV, but it's still pretty bad because there'll be like I don't even know why there's interlacing lines because it's a DVD and it's supposed to be progressive scan. But yeah, there's like parts of the movie that are just how poorly it's compressed on DVD.
Yeah.
But something I forgot from the last chapter is the very opening like trap is these two guys are stuck to like they each got a saw blade in front of them, and in the middle above them is a woman tied to the ceiling, and the two guys, she cheated on the one guy with the other guy, and so they have to decide if they're gonna kill each other or just like let her die, and so they let her die, but the two guys fighting are named Ryan and Brad.
That's awesome. How do they know we did that?
I know, right? It's like someone wrote our lives.
I know.
Yeah. Overall, it's a fun series.
Did you rewatch Jigsaw with it too?
No.
Okay.
Because I saw that last year, it was pretty readily in. Remember most of it, and it's not really tied to the other 7 that close, like other than Jigsaw.
Yeah.
So it's at some point I want to go back and like really pay attention to the timeline, because around 3 there's a thing that happens where it's like if Donnie Wahlberg's already been trapped in the Saw basement, but then then Hoffman's doing something and like it overlaps because also that one guy whose wife was a doctor is with Amanda. I'm not going to try to explain it here, but right at that point, there's like something doesn't add up. So I want to go back and check it out timeline wise, because often the surprise at the end is like, oh, this actually happened before Jigsaw even did the first movie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this doesn't seem right. So
I don't want to play anymore.
And I think 6 is pretty sweet.
Yeah, 6 is. I love the shotgun one. I think that trap's awesome.
Oh yeah. Well, the turnaround. thing.
It goes around.
Yeah.
The merry-go-round.
Yeah.
That one guy in the trap that was like, oh, you know what? Fuck you.
I was actually gonna say like, well, the whole insurance plot line is pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's great
to tie into Jigsaw's thing. But when Hoffman gets the bear trap, the reverse bear trap on his head.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's gonna get fucked up. But it's pretty smart for him to like stick it in the metal grating so it can open. But then it just like, it tears his entire cheek off, and he screams, and the movie ends. But then it comes back in the last chapter and recounts that, and it's like this whole chunk of his face that had been like dangling off is now like just a convenient like little slit.
And he sews it up pretty quick.
And he sews up in it like molds it. So that's a little inconsistency. That's
yeah.
But yeah, I caved and bought. It was like $11 for all 7 movies on that Blu-ray. So I was like, I'm gonna watch these again in beautiful Blu-ray stuff. But there's no special features on it, so.
I got.
That's what you get for the $11.
I'll keep the DVDs. Yeah.
I comboed that with Jigsaw at Best Buy and got it all for $20. So.
Yeah. And then I guess the last thing I saw on my I'm trying to see a movie in every Denver theater, and so the only one playing at the time I had available to do it up at which one was it? The farthest one north. I think it's Orchard 12. Oh. So it's like north Thornton. It's like on the way to Fort Collins.
Yeah, it's off 140th, isn't it? Or is there one? No, 140th.
140th, yeah.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
The only thing they had at the time I had was Night School. And it's okay.
What's water made out of? I hate that. Like that scene in the trailer where they're in the like ultimate fighting drives me crazy.
But the answer rain is funny.
The overall story is pretty entertaining. The Kevin Hart jokes are pretty stupid. But like the supporting cast, like Rob Riggle's in there as one of the students, and then Marilyn Ricecub is like this like repressed mom who is like going back to school because she missed high school because she had a bunch of kids, but she's also like lashing out because her husband won't let her like do stuff. What else? But yeah, like Kevin Hart goes back to get his GED, and the message of like by the end of the movie is like it shows how much he slacked off, and he eventually like loses his fiance over it because he doesn't tell her because he's trying to not feel embarrassed. But it's like, if she told him, she would have understood and stuff. So the whole message of the movie is pretty nice. But there's some really stupid stuff. Like at one point, he's in the car and he pulls up next to Tiffany Haddish, who's his teacher for the thing, and they just have like they just cut between them making silly faces and yelling at each other. Like there's no like clever dialogue. It's just like, move on. Like this is mugging for the camera stuff. Yeah. So it was all right. That's all I watched.
Let me get some through things. I saw First Man. It's amazing.
Yeah.
There's like 3 times where I cried in it.
Oh, have I not talked about this yet on the show?
No, you haven't.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
talked to me
I
about
saw
it.
First Man weeks ago.
Yeah, it's great. I really cried at the end when he had his little daughter's bracelet.
Can you can't do this?
Yeah, we can. We already talked about it.
We know he landed on the moon.
Yeah, but you talked about it in the sport. Okay, all right. Yeah. All right.
It's probably in the
go
book.
ahead.
We talked about it 2 weeks
Go
ago.
ahead.
You know what, Ryan? I didn't know, so thank you.
So he took something that was really precious to him, and he left it on the moon because he took that memory with him to the moon, and it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
There's the movie's just really well done.
Yeah.
And I think what I really liked about it is they did not sugarcoat who Neil Armstrong was.
Mm-hmm.
He was obviously a great person, but he was quiet and wasn't always the most likable person.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really cool that they did that.
And I think what I loved about it was how the movie really doesn't talk down to you about it.
Yeah.
Like there's not a scene where his wife yells at him about the fact that he's not there to help raise the kids.
Oh yeah.
There's just scenes when he's there and scenes when he's not, and the scenes are different.
Yeah,
And so
I mean-
when she yells at him, she doesn't have to say that. You know where she's coming from, what she's really saying.
No, that scene
It's
where
amazing.
he's about to leave,
Oh gosh.
and she's yelling at him about saying he needs to say goodbye to his kids, and you know why he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense. Like that'd be tough because you know you might not come back. But
well, and because he said goodbye to a kid before.
yeah,
Like it's just yeah.
spoilers.
That's the first part of the movie. Like that's the incredible thing to me is like that's such a little hidden when the movie started. So this is spoilers for history. When the movie started and there's all the stuff with his daughter and I was like, "Oh shit, you're making the movie about this." And then they start the part with the astronauts and I'm meeting all of his friends and going,
Yeah.
"Oh God, there's only one astronaut here who survives this shit. This is rough." It was really.
I had a similar experience because of all the knowledge you've passed down to me over the past 2 years. So
yeah, it
I'm
was
like,
just
dead.
exactly everybody there.
I know. As soon as they say Gus, you're like, "Oi!"
Ryan
my
Gosling
goodness.
goes to funerals. The motion picture.
Yeah, here's my 2 best friends, Ed Chaffee and
Because they even
We're like
say
dead
like
Gus
Chappie.
Grissom.
there's even a great
Well,
little
yeah.
moment where he's angry at the test pilot's funeral.
yeah.
And he takes off, and his wife has a wonderful moment where she says, "Does he talk about Karen?" And you're like, "Oh, like there was parts of that movie that just like crushed me to my soul." And it's
You keep putting your candy bag trash back in the candy bag. You're gonna pull out nothing. Sorry, go ahead.
no, but I love too how it made you claustrophobic in the launches.
Oh, so good.
It was great. And I'm going to put to bed the controversy about them not playing the flag. They show the flag enough.
It's not a controversy. It's
Yeah.
an inane conversation by dumb fucking
Yes.
moron people.
Yeah, because
it's not a controversy.
They do show the American flag on the moon a bunch.
It's also not the point of the
And
film.
I stood up and saluted it every time.
good for you, Brad.
It's not the point of the film. It's not the point of the first thing he said when he got there. It's also very seriously not something that he was like that passionate about. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Movie's beautiful though.
Movie's incredible.
Definitely go see it.
Yeah.
I
I
also
should actually do that. Next time I watch First Man, I should stand up in the middle of the theater.
then you have
Oh
some
my
Cletus Slackjaw. You'll go, "Thank you, sir." I also watched Bad Times at the El Royale.
Oh, cool.
Which I really liked.
Yeah?
I really like that movie. I think Chris Hemsworth is amazing in it.
Cool. I'm gonna have to go this week.
What was the point
Of
the movie? Like, that's not a joke question. Like, I don't know if you listen to our episode, but
I haven't yet.
it's a cool movie, but I wasn't sure like what I was supposed to take from it.
I don't know. I don't know what the point of the movie is.
Yeah,
I guess just there's bad people around.
I was asking Steve about it today because he said he really liked it, and he wasn't sure either. But the best he could say was like it has something to do with like a political message.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the person they're have you seen it, James?
No, I haven't. I'll probably go this week. Here, I'll turn the headphones off. Go ahead.
I think the person they're talking about
That doesn't work at
is
all.
I can't say it. Yeah. So I think they're dealing with it that way, and I think it's just the point of it is bad people go there, and it all comes to a head because of what John Hamm does throughout the film.
Yeah, what they're talking about. I mean, like it's interesting. Like I want to watch it again, but when I saw it with Brad, I was not like super impressed. But I want to go back.
I've really loved the movie.
Yeah. John Hamm's amazing in it.
John Hamm's great in it. I don't know the young lady's name who plays the singer. She's amazing in it.
You guys, don't worry. I'll go see the movie, and then I'll come back and tell you what it's about.
Thank you.
I'll break it down for you.
The most I can gather is it's bad people meeting at a bad place, and it all comes to a head.
Sure.
Because really the only, I guess, non-bad person there is John Hamm. Because he's really not a bad dude.
But he's working for bad people.
Yeah, technically.
No.
Well, he's trying to cover up a possibly bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what's on the tape.
I just say the man he's working for, quote unquote, was not the greatest person.
No,
ever.
he's not. I mean, history plays that out very well.
Yeah.
So
sometimes he wears a dress when he doesn't.
Yeah, I really liked
Ed
it.
Wood?
But yeah.
Also, John Hamm does have a racist character.
Whoa, yeah, no, that is true.
that he does. So,
but that's his character.
Yeah,
though.
is he doing it intentionally, or is it part of his cover?
I think it's part of his cover,
right?
Because he has that one awesome little moment on the phone with his family.
Oh shit, yeah,
right. But it's, like as an agent, though, is that the only tactic you can use to throw these people off is to be a okay. Anyway,
James, I think you'll
also
like him
too.
for
I
the
think it's
reasons
maybe
that I
it
love
might be
Hateful
part
Eight.
of the times too. Was it take place in the '60s?
yeah.
So, but Chris Hemsworth's great as kind of a Charles Manson guy.
Cool.
And the music was awesome, and I loved the music. The movie's awesome.
And the woman
go.
who's playing the essentially the lead role she's got a great voice.
Oh yeah, no, she's
and she does a
amazing.
good job of making you think she's not a great singer, but an okay singer, like a really good singer.
Yeah, the part where it twists and it goes like, "I've heard better." You're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Well, I love her speech though to him.
Oh yeah.
Xavier Dolan too,
where
He's
she
an
just
asshole.
goes off on Chris Hemsworth is pretty awesome.
In masculine repression. So, yeah.
I watched Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn in Holiday. It's a fun movie. In it, she plays
Roman Holiday?
No, just Holiday. Roman Holidays with Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, right.
And Gregory Peck. So this one is Cary Grant is marrying Katharine Hepburn's sister, and so he is just, I guess, a normal working class guy. And her father owns a bank, so he wants to marry her, so he asks her to marry him, and they do this announcement with their father who runs the bank, and but Cary Grant has dreams of grandeur and wants to travel the world and stuff, but it doesn't fit with his fiance's goal of him working at the bank and making money. But Katharine Hepburn takes a liking to him because he's as carefree as she is. Mm-hmm. It's a cute film. You should check it out. I think you get the DVD for $1.99. Sorry, scrolling. Watched Celebrating Mickey. Looks great on Blu-ray.
Okay.
They should do some more.
Was it worth the price that you paid for it?
Yeah, I got it. I think $14.99 off Disney Movie Club.
Okay,
it's not bad.
I think it's like 18 or something at Best Buy, but I guess.
I watched a movie I watched when I was in. I used to get them at Blockbuster. I'd go down the horror section, just pick out cool covers. And it's called The Unnameable. It's based super loosely on a H.P. Lovecraft story. The basic premise is it's a haunted house. There's a monster in there that's so hideous that it's unnameable and it kills people. Acting's really
Jeffrey.
Yes, the acting's really wooden. However, the effects are really cool. If you like gore effects, you can tell they put all their money in the practical stuff.
Yeah,
because the acting is garbage.
But they know where they make their. They know why the people are going.
Yeah. One of my things I watched this week that blew me away and made me cry too is there is a new Adam Sandler special on Netflix called 100% Fresh, and it's a concert video, and it's him going around the country, touring. And I saw this when he was in Denver, and he's just accompanied with a pianist, and he goes out and he'll do like little stand-up bits, and then he'll just do random songs. And as you watch it, you just see how he is a comedic genius because he's really funny and really poignant, and at the same time, it's really great. And then he does these really where it becomes an Adam Sandler project. So it's shot really cool too. So it comes out and he starts off in this like really small, like it's called the Comedy Cellar.
Sorry, is it a special or is it a documentary about?
It's a special.
Okay.
So it's like it's them filming him performing stand up.
Yeah.
So it starts off with him. I think it's called the Comedy Cellar, and he goes down there and there's like maybe 100 people, and then it cuts to different angles, like the venues get bigger. So it keeps
the
on
David
cutting.
Tell Roadwork did that too, where it's like just the joke is in one place and then the next joke is in a different venue.
Yeah. So it's the same joke though. So he'll say like he'll come out and he says, "Welcome, blah 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 blah," and then I'll say something. Then it'll cut to maybe a side shot and it's a different venue.
Yeah.
So it's the same joke but in a different venue. And
funny.
but then he'll also intersperse it. There's this part where he's doing a joke about the slow motion man crossing the street and he's singing the song. And then it just cuts to him being Adam Sandler going like in slow motion while the song is playing. And then there's parts where like Adam Sandler heads are bouncing off the screen. It's really weird, but brilliant. There's a scene where he's busking in somewhere in New York on a subway, and no one knows it's him until he starts being really goofy, and it's pretty great. But the really poignant part is he does a Chris Farley song, and it's really good. And he has a montage of Farley stuff going on behind him, and it's really good. And if you really like Adam Sandler and you think you've missed something with him in a while, watching this will reaffirm why he's such a great comedian. Because he'll just say a joke about his wife, and then he'll cut into a song about like an old lady playing bingo. It's really weird, but it works really well. And I remember when I saw him in Denver when he was doing this, he said. Like halfway through, he's like, "God, I got a lot of songs." He's funny. I really liked it. I love seeing Adam Sandler be funny. I miss it, even though he's funny a lot. But when you see him do this, you'll get my point.
Yeah.
And the last things I watched, I went to Dismember the Alamo. And so, if you don't know what that is, at Dismember the Alamo, it's 4 mystery horror films, programmed by Steve, who announced that he's leaving Denver Alamo.
What?
He's going to Austin to work for their corporation as training programming people.
Wow, you didn't tell me.
Yeah, he just announced it last night, I think, publicly.
Yeah.
So this is his last one. He says he has a couple months left, and he's going to be training the new person on how to program. So I will add a caveat to this is the only thing that bugged me is so when I think of Dismember the Alamo, I think of like fun movies. And
well, some of these in this list were like whoever went to the film club got to pick from the AGFA archives like the best ones.
So what they did for that is they played the first reel of 5 films. So they didn't see the end of it, and Steve said there were 16 people there. So these 16 people decided what the second film was going to be. And that second film was called Dead by Night, or Dead of Night. And it's a story of a soldier who comes back from a war, and they thought he was killed in action. And then he shows up at his parents' house, and he's not. He's now a monster, and he kills people now. Acting in it's not very good, but it started getting... it's directed by Bob Clark. I don't know. He did A Christmas Story and Black Christmas.
Porky's.
And Porky's. So a very unusual director. The ending kind of made up for it because it kind of got creepy at the end. Not that great. The first movie they showed was called Blue Vengeance, and it's a story about this dude who is in it's kind of spoilers. So there's like this serial killer, and he's killing people, and he's singing songs while he's doing it, and he was in a D&D band that would sing about Satan, and so
all right, I'm down.
So he would
doomed.
He would fantasize that all these people that he was fighting were characters from D&D.
Beholder.
Gelatinous cube.
Also, his he read comics, so he was pretty fucked up, guys. Played D&D and read comics. But it's one of those
Natural
movies
20. I win.
that if it wasn't so stupid, it'd be awful. there's a part where he kills this truck driver, and he stabs him in the throat with his knife, and he says, "Hey, can I hold your knife?" And the guy says, "That's a weird question to ask another man." And then he takes a knife from him and stabs him. And he gets out of the car and he goes, "Sweet, I have wheels, yeah!" And he jumps in, and it's really bizarre. And if it wasn't so bad, because it's an hour and a half, but it felt like it was 2.5 hours long because it's so poorly made. But there's this chase scene at the end where the cop, who's the worst cop I've ever seen, is chasing. What was his name? Like Trex. Michael Trex or something. Chasing him through the subway. So in the subway, he's like zigzagging through the poles that are on the cars, and the cop's following him by zigzagging through the poles instead of just running straight. And then they would be running next to each other, separated by a handrail.
Yeah.
And then they start running across the Brooklyn Bridge, and they get to a point, and the bad dude throws a net on him like a cartoon, and the dude is stuck. And then he asks the girl that's helping him, he says, "Go get him!" And so this dude's working on a bike, and she just pushes him over and steals his bike. But he's running still, and she's chasing him on a bike. But not like a cool mountain bike. It has a basket on it. It's so fucking stupid. And then it ends with them meeting in this warehouse, and they meet outside, and Trex kills this motorcyclist and takes a pole. And then the cop gets on the bike and takes a pole, and they're going to joust.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
On bikes or on feet?
One's on a motorcycle and one's on a bike.
So
the bad guy's on a motorcycle, the other dude's on a bike, the cop.
I wonder who's going to win.
Yeah, it's really weird.
The audience.
Yes. There's some like pretty cool gore in it, but if it wasn't so shitty, then it'd be awful. The movie that was awful was called Trouble Every Day. And here's the thing is I love Steve, okay? I do, but I knew he was going to stick one of these fucking films in this, and it's a French art house horror film. And so after seeing those two, then he goes with this one, and it's half American and half French. And it's a story about who's the dude in Buffalo 66?
Oh, Vincent Gallo.
Vincent Gallo is a doctor, and he's
already out.
And he's on vacation with his wife, or a honeymoon with his wife in Paris, and they're trying to get this other doctor. And there's some lady who I don't even want to tell you. It's stupid, but it seems like it's a French art house horror film.
Does Vincent Gallo hang dong?
No, but you see him ejaculate, and you see semen on the screen.
Wait,
yeah.
what the? Wait.
Wait a minute. No.
So, do you want me to spoil this movie for you?
Desperately.
James's heart.
So there's a woman in it who is sleeping with
Invisible.
men, but she's killing them.
Okay.
Like eating them while she's killing them.
Dope. Yeah.
No, it's not dope.
Well, there's a really great in American Gods. Let me tell you about it.
No, yeah. So, but American Gods is what, an hour long, and it probably moves.
It's
good.
a book.
Oh, you're talking about the book, not the show.
Either way,
So,
yeah.
So, but you can read it and you understand it, and
Yeah.
it moves along. So this movie is like an hour and a half, but it also has a stupid French shit in it.
Sure.
Where it's just close up of like their eyes, and then no dialogue, and then it's like constant cutting from no dialogue. So, anyways, this chick's fucking this one dude. She eats him. Then you find out that Vincent Gallo character suffers from the same thing, and he won't sleep with his wife because he's gonna kill her because when he sticks his wiener in her.
Oh, so it's like Twilight.
It's like cat people, but dumb.
Yeah. Then he goes down and eats this one chick out because he doesn't want to hurt his wife. So he goes and eats this one chick out, and he eats her vagina so much that it bleeds. It's disgusting.
Wait.
Yeah. So he's
Wait, can we go back to when I said I want
sure
you to
this isn't
spoil the
Lawrence
movie?
Van Trier?
yeah.
Because-
So Steve's like, I like
wanna
that movie, and I
change
wanted
my
an audience
answer.
to see it. So you're watching this, you're going, wow. So when I think of Dismember at the Alamo, I'm hoping it's, Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something. And then maybe throw in Blue Vengeance, then I don't care.
Sure.
But the last movie was Suspiria, which was cool.
Oh,
the new one.
Yeah.
And that one's 2.5 hours long.
Shit.
But it's pretty fun. If you like really like, if you like
Witch cults? Yeah, okay.
horror films that are kind of torturous and the performances are really good. It's kind of goofy like the original, where it's really unusual shots and unusual editing choices.
Sure.
But all the performances are really great. It's a good movie.
You're saying that it's like it sounds like it's edited and stuff similar to the first film. Is it basically just an Americanized version of this first film?
So if you don't know what Suspiria is, it's this woman goes to a dance dance school it's actually witches. It's not really spoilers. It's
I read a review because I've seen the original one.
witches.
I've seen the original one. So but I read a review saying like, well, you already know they're witches. That's not the point of the film. Which I'm like, oh, now I really want to see this.
There are some really intense scenes in it. A scene where Dakota Johnson's character is trying out for the dance troupe is really hardcore. I mean the violence inflicted on this one woman's pretty gruesome, and then the end is just savage. So, and the performances are really good. So if you can get past the methodical pace of it, I don't think you would like it.
Yeah,
but it was cool to see as part of that group.
Would you say that you like the Vavitch better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I like that it was included, but that's my only complaint too. Is so I go from a French art house horror film that took a really long time to get
Whiplash,
going,
yeah.
And then you go to a movie that's 2.5 hours long. So the last two
And
movies
it's also deliberate. Yeah.
exactly. It just
You probably would have liked it more if you'd just seen it.
exactly.
Yeah.
You should have stayed because he also showed you Call Me by Your Name right after that. As why did he know double feature?
So yeah.
That movie's
so
good.
but Dismember the Elmo was really fun. I think it was like my cousin gave me the ticket. I don't think it's that expensive,
No.
and but you get to see 4 movies, and you never know what they are, so
Well, that's cool.
it's fun. But if they put me in charge, it'd be Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, and then Night of the Living Dead or something.
Oh, I should have told you because I saw Part 6 at a Alamo thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be awful. Did they make fun of it?
They did, but it was like
Is that the porn one?
No, that's 5.
like normally the jokes are like really hit or miss, but this one they did like it was the funniest. It's basically a live MST3K without Joel Robinson and everybody. But their jokes were spot on. And it wasn't like a mean way. Like once in a while, it's like, yeah, this movie's a piece of shit. But probably the best gags were, when the opening credits, Jason walks in front of the eye, and they play the James Bond theme song.
Yeah.
And then the one part where the girl's in the cabin, like protecting the little girls, and she stands up, and then Jason's outside the window, and it tracks with him as he walks by. They played the Police's "I'll Be Watching" or "I'll Be Watching."
Good. That's a great scene.
Yeah. Stuff like that. So
Nice.
I know you're bummed that they were making fun of it, but
Yeah, I'd rather just see it on the big screen.
yeah, the I don't know if I'm being tested, but I've gone to the movie like over 120 times this year, and almost every time there's been some like weird random bullshit I had to deal with. And this time I couldn't write them up because I think they might have been autistic. So I had to move. But towards the end of the movie, they were telling the jokes, and this person was still like yelling stuff out, and they didn't know what I knew or suspected, so they made fun of that guy. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway,
Is that the one where he's on a boat?
No.
Okay.
That's the one where he comes back to life.
where a lightning bolt brings him back to life.
Yes.
Oh, great. No,
Yeah.
I didn't know about that one.
There were 6 lightning
I'll
bolts.
add that one to the joke then.
If you listen to the commentary we just posted, we talk about things
commentary's
like
pretty fun.
like that.
It
let
has-
us do-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What?
Oh, you posted the commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Me and Brad did 10 years ago.
that's what that posting was.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I thought my
What'd you
phone
think it was?
I thought my phone was acting up weird.
That's from Nebcast. Everybody go look it up. It's great.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like who paid for Jason's headstone?
Mm.
Ryan explains.
I did. I'm pretty impressed with myself. I know a lot about this fucking movie. I could be a historian on Jason Lives. This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw Halloween 2018. James, should people see Halloween?
Man, you go to me first.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go see like a fun movie that honestly I would say like walks a line between horror and thriller, like sure it's a horror movie, but is not like the worst thing I've ever seen. And is more just intense for most of it, and gave me everything I wanted going into the movie. Well, I guess technically there's one thing I wanted that I didn't get. Like the one thing that I was like, I really want to see this, and then that's not in the movie. But no, I think it's really fun, and I have my ending in my head, and so I'm good. I'm gonna keep moving. So yeah, I think people should see it for sure. I mean, like not my mom, but you know, if you watched the trailer and you went, I might see that. Yeah, go see it. You know. So yeah.
Brad?
This movie's all right. It's pretty much everything I expected, and then the thing I didn't expect is how stupid some of these characters still really are 40 years later. So
True.
I think it's worth a watch if you're into the Halloween franchise. It's, you know, it's more interesting than the first one that I saw at the midnight. But again, there's just some dumb choices that completely reduce my enjoyment of the movie. So,
Zach?
Yeah, so I've seen it twice. I mean, like, yes, absolutely go see it. I think that I've actually had to learn how to dissect films differently because of this film, because I really loved it walking out, and then I heard a bunch of fanboys bitch, and then I was like, wait a minute, they're allowed to have their opinion, and then I rewatched it again, and I'm like, this movie's not perfect as a Halloween movie or as a movie period, but it's so fucking good. It's what I wanted out of this, and that's all I could ask for. And so, yes, biasly as fuck, I'm saying go see this movie. And Jamie Lee Curtis is amazing. Give her an Oscar nomination, please.
Yeah, this movie's awesome. What I wanted out of the film is to make Michael scary, and I think they did a pretty good job of making him scary again. Because the last thing you have is the Rob Zombie ones, which actually I watched Halloween 2 a couple days ago. And those films are just mean in a different way, where this film is Michael's mean in it, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I really like this film. And I saw it twice. I had to walk an old lady out to her car because she was scared. It was only me and her in the theater in Billings, Montana.
Oh.
So I walked her out to the car, and there's one character in there who I say is the smartest character in the movie, and I'll get into it in spoilers. But yeah, here's a trailer for Halloween 2018.
Trick or treat! So my house is here. Which one should we go to? They're all spooky. I'm gonna pick that one over on across the street. Yeah, oh, what the? Hey! Sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry.
40 years ago, on Halloween night, Michael Myers murdered 3 people.
After that horrific night, he was sent back to the institution in captivity.
I have prayed every night that he would escape.
What the hell did you do that for?
So I can kill him. The bus crashed.
Michael Myers escaped. He'll return to Haddonfield, his home.
I need to protect my family.
You have no security system, Karen.
Mom, you need help.
Evil is real.
There's a reason we're supposed to be afraid of the snake.
I've been preparing for this for a long time. It is not safe to be on the street tonight.
Go home! Get out of here! Get inside! Michael!
He's here. He is a killer, but he will be killed tonight. Happy Halloween, Michael.
And I want to clarify, like, it's okay if you don't like this. I've just, like, so, like, it's not to call it out, but there's a Consequence of Sound podcast called Halloweenies where these very intelligent guys
Don't
are.
advertise other podcasts
No,
on our
no.
podcast.
Fuck. Okay, just listen. So they've been going through the entire series, like front to end, 3-hour episodes on each film, and they're really good at it.
excessive.
They did not like the film, and every reason they gave for not liking the film is valid to a point. But so at this point, it's a matter of perspective. This film was never going to fulfill any expectation for any fan of the previous sequels because they are ignoring it. And then what's more, they take a lot of ideas from those sequels and twist them around and do it differently. Mm-hmm. The weakest part of this film for me is also one that I can easily defend, which is the Dr. Sartain stuff. Because I know that didn't sit well with people.
Anyways, so Halloween takes place 40 years after the night Michael Myers showed up and killed Laurie Strode's friends. He escapes.
He's never been out.
He's never been out.
No,
he's been.
This is
locked
only
away.
the third time he's murdered people.
Yes, so he's still locked away.
No, second
murders
time.
his family, murders the kid, the babysitters.
Yeah.
Then
third
then
time is this one.
Yeah, this is the third time.
Yeah, this is the third time coming up.
So
Yes.
he eventually gets out, and did his doctor help him? That's how I interpreted it, because his doctor kept on
He's the
saying
only
he
one
wanted
left.
to see him
I know.
in the wild.
It's the only reason it makes sense.
Yeah, and they kind of left that ambiguous throughout the film.
Because why else does he get on the bus, right? Once we
Exactly.
know what's going on,
he
you're like,
has a
oh,
little
shit.
line there too.
Yeah.
So Michael gets out. He is looking. I don't know if he's looking for Laurie Strode. I'm guessing that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
There's really. I say
I don't think so. I mean, the truth is, if you watch the way he basically just starts murdering people, and it's people who direct it. It's the doctor who directs
Dr.
him towards
Sartain
Strode.
doing it. This is all. This is orchestrated by him, and everything's laid out there. Not always clearly, but just enough for you to understand that it's Dr. Sartain running the show to a point.
Yeah, so where I love why this makes Michael scary again is once he gets the mask back and gets rid of the podcasters.
We're making a podcast.
My favorite scene in the whole film is the one on Halloween night where the kids run into him, and it's just a tracking shot of him going from house to house, just murdering random people.
Yeah,
and I think to me that's scary. It takes away.
Why doesn't he kill kids or that baby though?
Well, he does.
So,
The first kid he meets,
he does kill a
kills.
kid.
He just doesn't stab the baby.
Yeah, and that's a big thing that they're arguing right now. People online.
You know why he doesn't kill the baby? Because I really didn't want him to.
Yeah, and
that's why.
Yeah,
because it would just be too much.
But if he's supposed to be like the pure like embodiment of evil, like why wouldn't he?
Evil does what it fucking wants to do. It doesn't run by our rules as an audience, guys.
Yeah, and I mean him killing a baby is unnecessary, and it's just
Just don't write a baby into the scene.
That I agree with. Yes.
Well, did you read David Gordon Green's explanation behind that?
No.
So he agrees. He said, my whole point is I'm making Michael the embodiment of evil, and if he's a force of evil that has no conscience, then it shouldn't matter. But if you watch this, because I saw it after I read that interview with him, you watch the scene again. So he jams that knife through that lady. It was pretty wicked.
Yeah.
And he goes around and then he just leaves. The set designer, someone came up and was like, "Hey, we should do something here because the scene is
empty."
Mm-hmm. And so they added just a baby crying, and he has that moment where he's just like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm just leaving."
Yeah.
Because and I don't think it's
it's at least fucked up. If anything, you could read it as now this kid is alone in the world.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fucked up. And so you're seeing like the consequences
I agree. He
of
just
what
made
he's
the
doing.
kid an orphan.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
that's evil enough.
So I loved that scene, and I loved the new take on the score. I watched a little thing on it where they did that.
Yeah, that part towards the finale where he's standing in the house and like it's just like this low angle shot of him as he's trying to figure out who's upstairs, and it kicks into that guitar.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So there is issues with it, but I really liked it because any movie that's 40 years after the original and it makes it scary again, and it makes Michael doesn't care. He has one driving force, and that's he's going to kill people.
Michael's scary because he's not a blood relative to anyone anymore, which is great.
Yeah.
But also, I would say he's scary also because of how we get our three lead ladies. which I think I love them in the film. Andy Matichak and Judy Greer are awesome additions with Jamie Lee Curtis in this film.
Yep.
I think they're great. And
this is the part of this movie I love.
Yeah, this is one of the half reasons. Like, one part of me is the big Halloween fan. The other one is this film that we get with Jamie Lee Curtis going through straight up, I would say, more effective performance in terms of having a PTSD moment than all of H2O. I think that scene in the restaurant is unnerving and made me cry. This is the Halloween movie that made me cry, and it's great.
Yeah, it's their dynamic is amazing. You have Laurie, who survived this, and she went one way, and it's impacted everybody in her life.
Yeah,
and
in fact, you could even see it as like, here's the all of the fallout of this violence, right?
Yeah,
and how like seeing that tale actually is part of what makes him scary. Is like, oh man, with one night, he has wrecked so much of these people's lives.
And there's a great line that it's kind of a throwaway that Laurie Strode says. She's like, I've been praying that he's going to get out because she wants to exorcise that demon.
And that's the part of this movie I liked.
Because she's like, I want him to get out because I'm going to take care of this motherfucker on my own.
Yeah.
And it's a twist, and it's kind of a little like just in there.
Yeah.
And and my the smartest person in this movie is a little Julian kid because
shit. Oh yeah.
Because I love the line too where he comes down and says, "There's a man in my closet," and was it Vicky is her name? I can't remember. The babysitter says,
Vicky.
"I'll go check." I was like, "No, send Dan."
Send Dave.
Dave.
And then when he runs down after she's getting killed, she's like, "Go on, run, Dave! You're gonna die!"
Oh yeah.
And he fucking takes off,
and we never see him again.
He calls 911.
Yeah, like.
Which someone said that was a random like house for him to enter. Like, no, because that's the house he's looking at before he turns and goes up the porch because he's gonna stalk the next house because those people that are coming out to go to the Halloween party are his parents.
Yeah,
like I don't understand. Like, I don't know. Anyway,
no, it's fantastic. Like, I think that whole sequence is great. I would agree with Brad that like there's a number of times where people are still dumb.
Yeah,
especially in relation to like. The guy, there's a Jaws moment where the fucking cowboy guy is like, "What are we gonna do? Shut down Halloween?" And in the theater, I was like, "Yes, you're gonna tell everyone to lock their doors and do Halloween tomorrow until we shoot this mother in the head."
That's also supposed to be a smart joke for the franchise as a whole, though.
Oh no,
because they've tried this.
And that's the thing. Like, I understand at some point you needed Michael Myers to go kill some people for a little while to justify the part that I wanted, which was I want to watch Jamie Lee Curtis just really ruin him. And she struggles, and there was a period early in that third act where I was like, you had 40 years and this is what you came up with? Like, your house is supposed to be a Home Alone of nightmares.
Some of these rooms aren't that big. Like, how do you not sense them in here? Like,
right. And I do have some problems. Like, how do you not have cameras in all these places? You have the floodlights. Why do they not flood every room? Like, there's definitely things where I'm like, but at the same point, the sequence where she goes around and clears all the rooms is great. Like, I really like that. And
I love the immediate aftermath of that too, where Michael throws her off the balcony.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite winks is that Michael goes and checks on her and she's gone.
Yeah.
That's my second
I do
favorite
want
wink. My first one was right after that.
And that it's, it's after, like, I mean, there were definitely moments where homage forces them to do things that don't make sense in reality, which is like, in reality, if I had built that house and I was Laurie Strode, I don't put any of those goddamn closets in my house because holy shit, why is there one of those weird slatted closets in every room?
Is it because she's trying to draw out his recollections of that night 40 years ago when she
But all
was
she
attacked in the
needs
closet?
is a really bright floodlight that turns on when she hits the emergency button that's everywhere in the house. Like, there is a way to do this. And she doesn't have video cameras, so she can't just find him. Like, there's some things where, but at the same point, it at least it sets us up so that way she
spent a lot of time
him.
just rigging her house to blow.
Right, and I at least appreciated that it allowed them to have a good, brawl in a way. takes his fingers off, and so he can bleed.
And there's I love the moment too where Judy Greer is going, I can't do it, and then he shows up and he's like,
good.
Gotcha.
That's actually to me the victory of the movie is that she gets that moment where whether she's there or not, her daughter, all of it kicks in, and she was right. Yeah,
the second time I watched it, and then you see the Karen Strode decorations on the gun
with the glitter glue,
and it's like, I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Yes,
the little things I picked up the second time watching it really helped.
Judy Greer is the reason I really love the movie. Honestly, her performance is great.
I love right after that though. After she gotcha shoots him, and then it does the first homage that I love, which is the light reveal of Laurie going Happy Halloween, and then she just thrusts into him, which is a great callback.
She's fairly unfazed by her husband getting murdered, though.
They don't have
one. Scene's not in the movie. There's an awkward conversation right after the credits where
did my husband
die? She turns to her mom and is like, wait, where's my husband? She's like, we're burning his body in the closet upstairs. I'm sorry.
But also, I'm gonna just throw out the theory. I think she kind of already knows what's going on without knowing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, because once the nightmare is there,
what's
that
scarier
one disappoints
is that
me because I like him. I liked that character, and I love that actor. And so to me, I was like, man, you couldn't have written some way for him to get knocked out and still be okay. I wanted him to be okay, especially because he has the line about I can protect my family, and I'm like, hey, you're more into this than your wife is.
I got peanut butter on my penis.
Yes. Oh my God. He was the comedy in the movie overall also is wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here clipping my nasty ass toenails.
That's like the lunch that a 5-year-old would pack for himself. Like a brownie and some pudding.
Sometimes when I'm on patrol, I just have cans of SpaghettiOs that I eat. I'm like, I can relate.
That humor does a great job of making those characters likable, because the biggest thing that this film accomplishes is that, amongst other things, is that it makes the people that are falling victim to his knife likable, relatable, lovable, which hasn't always been the case since the first one. Yeah. The first one's the last time when they were all likable, and then after that it's scattered. Yeah. And this one, there's not one. Maybe Andy's boyfriend's friend who then tries to hit on her, but he gets his comeuppance.
That seems awesome.
Yeah, he gets his comeuppance in a really great, unique, original-ish kill for that franchise.
And he's at least an understandable character. You understand that character pretty well, so it's not he's
he's
wrong,
drunk. He's drunk. But
and not just drunk, but when you're at that weird, awkward high school age and you don't know how to read signs and you don't, but
at the same time, it also does make a powerful statement about that one thing doesn't mean another thing. You know
Agreed.
What I mean? Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It serves,
it's not to justify his actions. I'm just saying it doesn't make him a
No. It just serves many functions, and it reads very well. As a good film should be a Rorschach test where you can pick wherever what you want out of it, but then have an argument to back it up. And I really just enjoyed watching that. Michael's terror, just the way she comes to grip. Everyone has to come to grip with some form of trauma in their life, and that film does it beautifully. And unfortunately, I think one of the best shots in the film is probably the last shot, because
of them in the truck.
Andy Matichik's now she's got this. She does she has more sense of fulfilling the purpose of that trauma, but she has to sit with this.
Sure.
She has to sit with the fact that she stabbed a man in order to save her family, because that's traumatic regardless of, I know it's villain, but it's you stab someone, it's going to be traumatic. Yeah. So this film's...
If anything, the whole sequence of her in the truck is the traumatic experience for her, right?
Yeah, much like the first film, this film is much more layered than it has any right to be, is a slasher movie. Again, I'm talking in terms of...
Yeah, but I love that the cop ran Michael Myers over, because if I saw that motherfucker, I'd just hit him with my car too.
Yeah.
However...
But he should have shot him in the head.
Yes. However, then you don't get excessive force, guys. Come on, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the one. I guess the one problem the thing I didn't like was the doctor stabbing the cop.
Dr. Sartain.
Then he's because he wants to fulfill this, I'm going to take you to Laurie Strode.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't care that whatever, cops die in movies all the time. I'm just saying it's a weird turn.
It was weird too, because
and then why didn't Michael kill Laurie's granddaughter when he was
Yeah.
right next to
Yeah,
her.
that's the.
Unless he was so pissed off at.
Also,
the
there's like a
doc.
scene earlier where they set up like that cop knew Laurie Strode for like a long time, and they like had a history together.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't in the past movies, right? That actor.
No,
Will
no,
Patton?
no.
But yeah, they have a conversation like, oh yeah,
Well, it's just he was the
He's-
first deputy on scene.
He's
or
the
something.
first deputy on the scene when they catch Michael after he escapes in the first one. You
Yeah.
do need to watch the first one to a degree to remember this. Like
But that scene is not in any other movie,
Yeah,
and so
no,
that is a thing they're making up.
yeah,
to answer
Right.
your
it's
question.
implied through their creation. So-
right. But the whole conversation, it seems like, oh, this is gonna like, it's gonna mean something later in the movie. But yeah, he just gets killed by the doctor, and
But I think a good point about this film is that you shouldn't be expecting what you think you're going to be
No,
expecting.
no.
well, I was actually excited when like Mike Myers got hit, and then the doctor was like, "Oh shit, this is really going like."
Well, I-
is he going to put on Michael Myers' mask
I had
and
this
be Michael
weird
Myers?
feeling,
Right,
like,
I
is
did
this
too.
actually Michael Myers? Is the doctor?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I had that thought, but I mean, no, it doesn't make any sense in my head.
I think that it does two things. I think one, it demystifies the notion that you need you need another Loomis character. It says, nope, we don't need a doctor running around with a gun anymore, regardless of how much I'll love Donald Pleasance and his bald ass head. But two, it weirdly homages the Man in Black and then kills him immediately and says, nope, we're not going to do anything else stupid. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just saying I understand why they would have put it in there.
Oh, no,
I'm just saying I got really, really interested in the movie at that point
Right.
because I was kind of like, this is the
I'm
same
just-
movie I've seen like 100 times.
I'm
Oh,
just-
what's happening right now?
I'm just flabbergasted because every early review I read pointed to this moment, and I'm like, I think they're blowing it out of proportion. Much like when something gets overhyped, this situation was overhyped negatively, and I'm like, it's not as bad as you say it is, and it mustn't be to other people because this movie did gangbusters in its second weekend, so I don't think anyone gives a shit, guys.
I think it's fine. I mean, it's the difference between it being like it's still just a thriller popcorn movie. Like if you're as much as I enjoy and think that this movie does some really great stuff, it doesn't transcend to being like great film. Like it,
it's not a Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, like that.
No.
That it like because of those sequences, you're like, oh, okay, weird. This doesn't quite. It's just, but it's fine.
I
like
think
it's not.
I think it
doesn't ruin the film for me.
No.
It's unfortunately a means to an end because they wrote themselves into a corner, and rather than going back and figuring out a better way to because they've escaped Laurie Strode, which is maybe you get great stuff out of that. It's also not what I wanted, which is what I wanted was that moment in the trailer where she walks out into the street and starts yelling his name, and because I was like, no, I want her to hunt his ass down, But then in the context of the film, you're like, oh, okay, she actually, also wants to protect her family, and you have this really great moment of it sort of being a trap, which doesn't make sense, but at the same she could have achieved the same thing by having a shotgun and walking around town until she found him and killed him. But
it seems like any sin that this film has, at least for me, was easily forgivable.
Yeah.
And again, I may be over defending that Sartain choice, but I think it's just because I don't understand why you're all coming down on it so as hard as you are. The only dumb thing about that is I don't like when he puts on Michael's mask. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I don't need that homage to Rob Zombie.
No, I think that actually made a lot of sense because he mentioned as a character that he wanted to know what it felt like.
It just looks silly to me. I'm sorry.
It looks silly, yeah, because he's
I know
not a big hulking
I know
dude.
why
I think,
that's there.
honestly, the way to rewrite that, in my mind, would be to have the doctor crack before he hits him with the car. Have him say something to stop the cop from hitting him, and that's where you start to see it crack. And that's when you get this opportunity, because then there could be something where maybe he hits him and the doctor freaks out in the car, something like that, rather than this weird. It's the way the scene plays out that just kind of feels awkward.
It's the one gimmicky thing in an otherwise
And the pen.
in an otherwise very gimmick free proceeding.
Whereas if instead he had kind of revealed oh no, I don't actually want you to be able to kill Mike Myers in the car. He could have grabbed the gun and shot the cop,
right?
Almost in that sweating, wait, no, this isn't how this was supposed to go.
Sometimes I think watching films like this, and
I want to.
I really like it. I feel like there is some moments missing in it.
Yeah,
They cut some dialogue and some scenes to say we need to get to the next kill because I mean it takes a while for Michael to actually start killing people. It's like the first film.
And the first kill to me was actually kind of suspenseful because we don't know that he's changed his clothes yet, and I kept thinking like, oh shit, this isn't Michael. This is the guy this is the cashier dude at in the gas station, and that he's some creepy fuck because he seemed like one. And that it wasn't really Michael. It was like, here's some other guy that's going to terrorize her.
But it is a great thing you can see in the background, which is Michael beating up the guy in the garage.
Oh, really?
You can see it in the background. You see him smashing his head like that. And it's like so subtle, you don't notice it. And I didn't notice it the first time. Second time, I said, oh my God, that's fucking awesome.
That's cool.
Subtle little things.
The other frustrating thing about that scene was again, more dumb people. Like, she just goes to the next stall. Like, that improves her situation at all.
Yeah.
Well, in defense of some silly mistakes, I have been in trainings with normal people, and they don't make very good decisions.
Yeah. I mean,
when you're confronted with something that's terrifying, sometimes you don't work the proper way.
I think there's a difference between those moments where people are freaking out and she had 40 years.
Yeah.
There's just some moments where I'm like, oh.
And the last straw for me also was the fact that this movie is all about finality.
Yeah.
And even though the house burns down, he's missing from that stairwell for that one shot.
No, he's not. I don't know what you're talking about.
He got away again.
I don't know what you're talking about. He died,
open-ended.
and if there's a sequel, I won't see it because I have a perfect arc in my head. The movie's over. They shot him in the head and then burned him in a house. It's over.
They didn't shoot him in the head.
She shoots him in the head.
But he's still standing when they're burning him
I know. That's why I'm saying.
Okay.
He's been shot in the head and burned to death. The movie's over.
He's just catatonic, and he's just staying there.
The only reason that shot is there...
He switches like Paradise PD, bitch be crazy disease.
The only reason that shot is there is to make both producers who want to make money and horror fans who want that, hey, now we have this villain back who's
guys, there was
70 years old.
Guys, there's a bunch of survival stuff down there. There was probably a fireproof blanket. He just got under the covers.
Yeah, that's right. He just kept pouring jars of pickles over his head until the fire went out.
And then when the sequel shows up, he'll be like, awake!
Even though there's a gas pipe shooting natural gas into his feet.
No,
and the next one, the mask is melted to his face, so he can't take it off.
He got blown out of the house, and he went into a river and just went down the river, and he was saved by some homeless guy who nursed him back to health. That's Halloween 5.
And also, you know what?
Oh, my God.
You know what's funny? And I say this with all the positivity in the world. Jason Blum doesn't care because he's sitting down in his office counting money right now.
And by all means, make all the sequels you want. Make
listening.
all the money you want. I don't give a shit. Just like with the first franchise, I don't need to see any of the sequels. So I don't need to see any of the sequels to this one. I have two good movies. And I'm going to sit with my two movies and have a good time watching my Avatar.
You should come with me on Wednesday. I'm doing a double feature just like that because they're showing the original at the Alamo on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But in terms of that, I'm actually, I'm torn because I agree with you that I like this arc and I want it to stay that way. I'm also like Ryan. I want some more.
Sure. Hey, look, have your fun.
No, what makes me
I'm never
happy
like Brad,
is now they're
like,
already
this is
talking
stupid.
about Friday the 13th because oh shit, we can make a lot of money. So
yeah.
LeBron James is trying to produce Friday
I hope
the 13th.
LeBron James plays Jason.
No, I just want him to produce it. I want his money.
It's got to be a basketball death in there somewhere. Someone gets shoved through a hoop.
No, Jason takes the basketball, grabs a dude by the head, and just smashes it on his head.
I want
and
the
folds him in
slam
half
dunk.
and then tries to dunk him.
I want the Space Jam Friday the 13th crossover.
Done.
But yeah, no.
Next week on Real Nerds,
Oh, what is next week?
I think it's Bohemian Rhapsody.
I think.
Bohemian Rhapsody,
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to do Boy Erased.
I mean,
Boy
I'm
Erased,
going to see
or
Boy
the
Erased.
Nutcracker and the Four Realms.
No.
Ooh,
I don't-
Morgan Freeman with an eye patch.
We could go see Johnny English Strikes Again.
Good.
Will he strike again?
That lousy movie hurt my freaking fantasy movie league.
Oh.
So now,
I got
okay, so
destroyed
guys,
this
we're
week.
never
I
seeing
know.
it ever.
At least I beat you by 20 million.
You don't understand when
I'll come back.
when movies don't work out
I'm only
in
ever going
fantasy
against
league
you.
favor. Ryan bans them.
That's all I only compete against. Because did you see Joe got another perfect cinema this
Yeah.
week? Fucking guy.
Well, last week I said because I beat him by 40 million, so I was like, I can catch up. He's not that far this year. And now this week it's like, oh, I'm lost.
We could go see Tyler Perry's remake of Paul Newman's Nobody's Fool.
What?
Oh yeah,
That's a real thing?
with Tiffany Haddish.
How do I not see these
Hold on.
trailers?
It's not actually a remake of Paul Newman's Nobody's
I was
Fool.
gonna
It's just a Tyler Perry movie called
I seriously
Nobody's Fool.
was hyperventilating.
It's got Whoopi Goldberg in it.
Whoopee.
Well, at least I'm assuming it's not. It certainly doesn't look.
Oh,
good
I
enough
have
to
seen
be
that
a-
trailer.
Yeah.
Like Whoopi Goldberg's the pot smoking lady.
Oh, it's
Mom.
it's classified as a
Yeah.
comedy, so it's definitely not Nobody's Fool.
Like, yeah, her daughter's like, hey, pay attention to me. And she's like, I don't see you. You're not here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm. Yep.
It's usually paired with that Jennifer Lopez movie trailer
Oh,
where she's like,
the reboot.
we faked your identity so you get this really like Madison Avenue job.
Oh, made in New York. How do I fucking know that? It's embarrassing.
I need you guys to answer a serious question here for me. Should I just buy Sicario 2?
Oh man,
Have you not seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I really liked it.
It's good.
It's different.
Blu-ray
yeah.
is cheaper than the 4K. I know that's not a good argument.
so
What you just said is my problem, by the way.
So
if it was just the Blu-ray, I'd be like, sure.
Yeah,
But it's because I'm like, well, but the 4K is like $23. The Blu-ray is
And it
17.
and it probably looks
17.
really nice.
17, knowing like,
Do you have the first one?
Yeah, of course.
He's got all the editions.
That's a tough call. I mean, I haven't bought it.
Yeah, me either.
I might.
Neither have I, but I'm poor.
But I haven't seen it.
I mean,
so
we're
that's
all
the thing.
I'm married and have a
For
kid.
the
That's true.
first purchase, I get my view. I get the first viewing, right? Like,
Yeah.
So otherwise, I rent it for $6.
Yeah. So here's what I always go through. If Laura wants to see it with me, she's not able to make it. Sometimes it's cheaper to get the Blu-ray than
Sure, there you
take
go.
Laura to the film.
To the film, yes.
I will say it's good, but it's missing Emily Blunt.
Well, I know
But you're coming
that.
from a dude who's in love with that woman, so I don't know if that's really a good review.
I think it's worth a watch.
Okay.
Definitely worth a watch. And
Yeah. And maybe you'll.
Will I
love
ever
it.
watch it a second time?
Maybe. I mean, they got it. They
Josh
got it.
Brolin's great in it.
They're gonna give us Sicario Infinity War right after this. So
Oh, shoot. You didn't answer my question.
I know. Well, it's hard.
This is still hard.
because I don't want to tell you what happens.
I
I
haven't.
think you should rent it in 4K.
You think I should rent it?
I mean, so then you've probably spent like $9 at that point.
Yeah, or at least a 7. I could always just rent the
And
regular
if you like it enough to
HD.
buy it, I don't think you'll regret like paying for it twice.
At least if I rented it, I could just sit
I
on
gave
it
it
until
4
it's
stars, so
cheaper. I mean, that's pretty
it's
good.
better than average.
Yeah, at least if I rented it, what I hear you saying is if I rented it, I could wait till the cost comes down and buy it sometime when it's cheap.
Rent it and hold off on buying. Rent it, but hold off on buying a copy, and maybe something will just magically drop into your stocking.
Yeah,
You
you're
never
not,
know.
you're not going for the steelbook, right?
Disappointment? No.
No.
Yeah, so it's not something you're like, oh, it's going to be disappearing from the shelves. Like it'll
No,
be around.
exactly.
It'll be probably
Right,
a
right,
Black
right.
Friday sale or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget Black Friday.
Because I could always instead just buy Won't You Be My Neighbor, because I'm sure that I'll actually want to watch a number of times.
Till next week. Bye.
Bye.
We will rock you.
No! Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.